Kansas City, it's Vinny Pasquantino. Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Welcome back into The Drive. We were talking about the Royals, and the Royals, it's just been very simple this year. When the Royals score 4 runs, which is a little bit below league average, it would put them tied for 17th. When the Royals score 4 runs or more, they are 15-1. 15-1. When they fail to get to 4, they are 9-17. They're one of the worst teams in baseball when they don't do that. Now, that's not surprising. If you don't score, you usually lose a lot of games. It just goes to show, to me, the clear line that I think they need to be at. Someone texted in the show, C-Dot, this is just like everybody that last year talked about the Chiefs and how they couldn't score, but they went 15-2 and went back to the Super Bowl. Well, it's important to note, the Chiefs last year were 15th in offense. 15th. They were around league average. Now, their defense was really, really good last year. Their defense was 4th last year. So, yes, maybe the Chiefs' offense isn't what you envision it being, but the Chiefs' offense is slightly above league average. The Royals are 26th in runs scored. We'd be having a very different conversation if the Chiefs were bottom 5 in the NFL offensively, but they're average. Again, I'm not telling you guys that I think the expectation for the Royals needs to be that they are scoring 5 or more runs. I don't think that's a realistic goal for this team. But I do think with 1 or 2 right moves and taking somebody like Hunter Renfroe out of your lineup, is it very feasible that the Royals could go from 26th offensively? Could they go from 26th to 18th, 17th? If the Royals get to 18th or 17th in runs scored, they probably win the division with their pitching staff. If the Royals could just get somewhere in that middle. Right now, the difference in where they are and being league average is a difference of 25 more runs. Imagine if you could just sprinkle in 25 more runs to this Royals team. They have 4 or 5 more wins this season than if that's the case. They're in first place in their division if you added 25 more runs to this team. So let's not confuse, what this means for the Royals. If the Royals could just figure out a way to get there, they would be in a much better position and could accomplish a lot higher goals. Your ceiling is just relatively low if you're going to be bottom 5 in scoring and whatever you're trying to do. And you're eventually just going to run up into a team that they're 3rd in scoring. So, yeah, an off night for them, if they score 5 or 6 runs, man, that's just not the kind of level that the Royals are potentially playing at. So that's why I think it matters. That's where I think the Royals need to try to make a move that gets them closer to the middle. I think that is a very obtainable goal for this organization.
For a Chiefs comparison, because the texter brought it up, I believe it was 2022 when the Chiefs started out 3-4, but then the offense came roaring to life. They still had Tyreek Hill on the team. Travis Kelce was in the prime of his career. Patrick Mahomes was playing great football, but everyone knew, this team needs another pass rusher. They were a pass rusher short at that time. They needed more pass rush to really help the defense. Everyone said, solidify the pass rush and the defense will really tighten up. You know what they did? They went down and they added Melvin Ingram. Now, that was not some earth-shattering, game-changing. It didn't lead SportsCenter. But I feel the same way about the Royals. It's the reverse. Hey, the pitching is good. I know the pitching is good enough. They are winning games because every night you go to the Hill with a guy you think can beat the other guy. You go to the Hill every night being like, our guy's better. I know Cole Reagans didn't pitch well, but that Red Sox ace, Garrett Crochet, I would put Cole Reagans up against him every single night. It's just if this team can get a major league bat another major league bat in the lineup, now you feel like, you've tightened it up. And I know everyone's excited about Jack Caglione. I'm not saying hemorrhage the future. I'm not saying trade Caglione for, Mike Trout. I'm saying make a small move. Bring in a Melvin Ingram type, for the Chiefs analogy, to this lineup. And suddenly the lineup has 4 or 5 guys, and suddenly there's a little more depth of offense. And then maybe it's June, July, August, and Cags becomes another weapon in that lineup. But this team needs to just tighten up its weakness. Go make the Melvin Ingram type of move. It happened then. Everyone celebrated. They got a defensive pass rusher. It changed the complexion of the season a little bit. Do the same for the Royals. Add that level of bat.
Text line 913-586-7965. C-Dot, that's not that bad of a record when the Royals score 3 runs or less. What is the winning percentage for the rest of the league when they are in this same category? Every team in baseball has a losing record. Every team has a losing record. I feel like we're making this more difficult than it needs to. If you in the NFL score 13 points a game, are you making the playoffs consistently? Are you beating the good teams in the league that can score points? Yes, you can beat a couple of teams that way. Eventually, you just run into a team that just simply has more firepower than you do. To give you guys an example, 2 years ago, I did a very quick Google search. When this happened to the Yankees, when they scored less than 3 runs in a game, they went 3-50 on the year. It's just really, really difficult in 2025 in modern baseball to beat teams if you're going to score 2 runs in the game. It's really tough to beat people 3-2 night in, night out. And I'm talking about good teams. The Royals went up against a good team this weekend. The Red Sox are a team that can win their division. They're a team that the Royals are going to be fighting for potentially for a wild card spot. You're just not giving yourself a chance to win that series if you score 5 runs. You're not giving yourself a realistic chance, especially when they scored 10 runs in one of the games. Like, they outscored you over the whole weekend in one game. You're just not giving yourself enough chances to win the series. So how do you get there? We're telling you what the problem is. How do you get there? I think at some point they're going to have to trade a pitcher to go get an outfielder. At some point. At some point, they're going to have to sacrifice a little bit on the back half of their rotation or one of the pitching prospects like they really like, and they're going to have to they're going to have to make a move at some point to get an outfielder that they can put into the 6 and 7 spot that they think improves the quality of their lineup. They're going to have to make that move at some point. I don't think they have enough offense in the organization at this point to try to fix all of the problems. And it's not that many problems, but to try to fix all the problems that they have. I mean, that is the reason for having a minor leagues. That's the reason for ability to make a trade. You got to go sometimes, you got to go outside the organization. You got to go outside the office to fix your problem. And I think eventually they're going to have to do that.
We agree, but I think the timeline to make that move is different for us. I want the Royals to make, add a major league bat, but give up, a quadruple, like go pick up an expiring contract. Tommy Pham type, if you're looking for a name. I'm not looking for literal Tommy Pham, but go get that type of player today. Go get a guy whose contract is expiring. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, he's with the Pirates. The Pirates stink. He's a free agent in 7 months. Go trade for him. I imagine it's not going to take your top prospect. It's not going to take one of you. Go give up right now, today, they should give up a lottery pick single A arm for a guy who's an expiring contract. And then in June or July, if the offense is still struggling, I then am on your side. Hey, make the move that hurts. Michael Lorenzen, Chris Bubich, Noah Cameron, Michael Wakame, Seth Lugo. I'm with you. But I don't think they can just stay status quo with no move from now until close to the deadline and then make the move that hurts. You got to make a transactional type of move. Maybe you bring in another team's Drew Waters type and you gave up, Nick Lofton for a name to bring that player in. But you can't continue to have three and a half hitters in your lineup and just be like, hey, we're good enough. You got to make a small move, and then I'm with you. Then you got to make the move that hurts. But right now, status quo is not good enough.
Text line 913-586-7965. I wouldn't do anything and hope and pray that guys like Massey and Renfroe can come back toward the middle of the pack and see if you can turn them into something at the deadline. Hunter Renfroe has been a major league bat for 8 years. He always starts slow. Let's move on. If we're counting on Hunter Renfroe to get back to league average and hope that he can get you something in return, I don't want to talk about this anymore. Let's talk about anything else. I've seen Hunter Renfroe has given me no reason to believe in a Royals uniform that he's going to help them with their problem offensively, only contribute more to the problem that they have offensively. In fact, he might be the problem for the Royals offensively. I'm done giving Hunter Renfroe at bats and chances to fix this thing. That's not where I'm at. That's where you are. That's perfectly fine. Reasonable minds can disagree. I'm telling you right now, Hunter Renfroe has no trade value, and what I'm not interested in is giving Hunter Renfroe another 100 ABs to see if he can figure things out. They tried that. It don't work. What's that saying? You got to know when to hold him and know when to fold him. I'm ready to fold on Hunter Renfroe. There ain't nothing to hold anymore. Let's move on. Let's talk about something else. It can be Royals adjacent. I just don't want to talk about this anymore. Not at all. Not even a little bit. Let's talk about the Astros. Do you think that everything the Astros do will simply be tainted and we'll just look at them as cheaters this entire time? Because I would argue, Rob, I mean, isn't cheating just kind of American sports? And I don't watch enough sports outside of America. Maybe you're telling me in the EPL they cheat all the time over there too. But I mean, most of the teams that are really good, aside from the Chiefs, have just kind of had a cheating scandal, right? I mean, we all like and love college athletics. I mean, before the NIL rules, most of the good teams we think cheated. I'm not here to point any fingers at anybody, but I mean, we got FBI testimony that basically a shoe company was dropping off bags to certain high-level players at a prominent hotel. I mean, in college, it was always kind of a wink-wink about the bag man. We don't seem to make it that big of a deal in college. I mean, one university was creating fake classes to keep their players eligible. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. I mean, in the NFL, the Patriots dynasty, for 20 years, the Patriots terrorized the rest of the league. They stayed in the middle of a cheating controversy. We still think Brady's the GOAT. We still look at Bill Belichick like he's the greatest coach of all time. I remember last year I went to the Royals and Astros game and they were booing him, and I'd forgotten. I was like, why are we booing him? And these two Astro fans were in front of me and they were like, the cheating scandal. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot you guys were out here sending Morse code to each other on what pitch was coming. I forgot about this, banging on trash cans. I forgot. But I mean, when you look at the Astros and you look at how good they've been, I mean, there aren't many franchises in sports, like period, that have been better and more consistent than what the Astros have been. I mean, the Astros have made the postseason every year since 2017, and they have either won or won the World Series in 4 of those years. Now, we'll see how this season plays itself out. They're off to a little bit of a slow start. There's one game over 500, but if we know anything about the Astros, they will eventually turn it on and get hot at some point in the season. I mean, the Astros have been not as good as the Chiefs, but they've been as good as the Eagles have been. They've been as good as the Dodgers have been. They've been as good as most franchises in American sports. But, Rob, it just always feels like there's going to be a cloud over the Astros because of that cheating scandal that they had in 2017 and 2018.
So here's the question, though, and maybe it's impossible to answer. They've won a World Series since then. Is that one tainted too? Like, when does the cloud blow over? Like, does it ever blow over? Does that dark cloud that has shrouded the organization ever disappear with the Patriot ones? Do people look at the second reincarnation of that dynasty as different than the first one? Because, hey, the first one had the taping. The second one, when the Patriots beat the Seahawks, to our knowledge, and that wave, to our knowledge, there was no taping. The NFL had cracked down on it. Like, the fact the Astros went back with a different manager and all the trash can bangers like Carlos Beltran and co. had been taken out of the organization, they went back, won the World Series. They beat the Phillies. Or is it always going to be, oh, they cheated, so that was cheating too? Like, in college sports, I get it. Rival teams and rival fans will always say, oh, they were just cheating. That forever. But eventually, if you're caught, that cheating dissipates, right? And they've gone back and won since then. So is that dark cloud gone, or is it just always going to hover over the organization forever? Because I don't know the answer, but I could see an argument from an Astros fan of, okay, we cheated in 17-18. You caught us. We paid our penalty. We did our time. We took the punishment, and then we came back and won again. Or does that one catch another wave of impurity?
Yeah, someone on the text line says, "See that I love the show, but this is a whack stance on cheating." Maybe I am being far more cynical than some of you want to admit. I don't think, for the most part, fans care the how. They just simply want you to win. I think we have enough examples of whether it is cheating scandals or morality scandals that I don't think that the general public really cares the who, what, when, where, why. Up to a certain extent, we simply just want the results on the field. Like, if you are anti-cheating, I just don't know how you watch college athletics. I mean, that's all college athletics are. It is, the lines are usually a little bit blurry, and we are going to do everything in our power to push them to their absolute limit. The absolute limit. I mean, Kansas cheated. There's no question. If you cheer for Kansas, you cheer for a cheating basketball team. But what is the justification? I mean, everybody's doing it. I mean, that's just kind of part of the game. Well, yeah. Everybody in some form has cheered for a team that is openly cheated. I just wonder why with the Astros, we just look at it drastically different and still kind of hold it over them very different than the other ones. Someone on the text line says, I have a hot take. I think the Patriots cheating is overblown. Well, I think the Deflategate is certainly overblown. No question about it. The Spygate is not overblown at all. They secretly went to other teams' practices and recorded them. That's cheating. Like, that's not even a debate that the Patriots did that. The Patriots had somebody go to practices of other teams and secretly recorded them and then watched and studied them. Rob, you remember the joke we used to make about the Patriots back in the Belichick days about the communication? How sometimes the headsets would just magically stop working, that eventually it got so bad at New England, they had to change the rule where if it goes out for one team, then both teams end up losing that privilege and magically the headphones started working again. I think cheating is just we're talking about $1 billion industry. We're talking about your ability to keep $1 million jobs that fund not only what you like, but a lot of people around you. A lot of the people we like and cheer for are cheaters and have been cheating for a very, very long time. I just don't know how we can be that mad about it because of the Astros and not say, well, you won. Carrington, cheating in practice is a lot different than cheating in a game. All right, see, now we're finding, well, you can cheat in this situation, but you can't cheat in this one. Man, you're cheating. We all know what the rules are. The rules say you can't do this. And then if you do it, that makes you a cheater. That's what I mean. We're finding loopholes to find why the Astros cheating is so much different than all these other cheaters when it's just cheating to me. You did something wrong.
That's why I asked the question is, now that they've paid their punishment and they lost and they've moved on and won, if people still pissed. Now, this iteration of the Chiefs did not win the Super Bowl, but the Chiefs got caught cheating. Now, it was low-level cheating, and I'm sure the text line will explain to me how it wasn't really cheating. They lost multiple draft picks in 2026 for illegally tampering the free agent.
Oh, yeah, I don't think that's – I actually don't think that's cheating, but I know the point you're making.
By definition, though, that's cheating.
Yeah, I'm with you.
They got caught, though. They got caught. They paid their punishment. Are people still going to be like, oh, well, that happened. They're cheaters forever? It was this regime. It was Clark Hunt, Andy Reid, the whole group. They did that. They broke that rule. Now, I would say that's a nothing cheating thing. I agree with you. But they got caught. They paid their punishment. They lost their draft picks in 2016. Everyone has moved on. They lost their pick in 17. They have moved on. I think once you've been caught and punished, you can no longer look back and be like, well, it's impure forever. You can look back at 17, 18, so the Astros cheated, and I feel dirty those went to them. But you can't look back to 22-1 or this iteration based on the information we have and say, hey, that they're still cheating. We have no reason to believe it. That happens. If you get caught, I think that's the punishment happened and you move on. For your North Carolina analogy, North Carolina got caught. We now all know they were cheating with fake classes.
For sure.
We move on. North Carolina's been in a national title since. No one was like, oh, this cheating organization. No, they got caught. They paid their punishment. We've moved on.
I would also say, I guess you want to find like the everyone. We can move on from this, but just everyone's cheating. You are not supposed to use NIL as a recruitment tool. Like, it is against the rules for you to use NIL as a recruitment tool. I think at this point, we just accepted that is what everybody is doing. Like, literally everybody is doing it. Hey, if you jump in the transfer portal, we'll make sure that we get you X, Y, and Z. You're not supposed to be able to do that. Everybody's kind of doing it. Like, your favorite college has contacted a player who was under scholarship with another team and encouraged him to enter the transfer portal to pay him money. Every single one of our teams has done that before. That's technically against the rules. I think we're just usually pro-cheating. That's kind of where we are. Rob, let's another sport that actually has cheating scandals actually all the time is the NBA. Let's talk about the NBA here for just a little bit. Are you with me that even though the Knicks are ahead in this series, it feels like they're behind in this series? This is what it feels like to me. Maybe you don't like this analogy. It feels like they were up 12 in a game, and now they're up 5 in a game. That even though, yes, they still have the lead, it feels like the pressure is on the team with the lead as opposed to the team who was making the run and coming back. I think the Celtics are better than the Knicks. And in a long series and not a short one, I don't know if the Knicks can beat the Celtics 2 more times to win this series. Maybe they'll get one more, and this ultimately ends up going to a Game 7 back at home. But I don't know if I trust this Knicks team enough to beat the Celtics 2 more times over the next, 4 games. I just don't trust them enough to do that.
I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm talking out both sides of my mouth. It just feels like in every series where an underdog wins, they end up stealing a game or two. They play great in a game or two, and that's the path to an upset. It's not like college basketball where it's like one great night and the world shifts. No. It's, hey, you got to get lucky a few times. It feels like the Knicks have already used that luck, and they still don't have the "we've played great" in their back pocket. Now, maybe they never play great. Maybe the Celtics just take away what they can do, and then it's going to be a Celtic runaway from here out. But you got to figure Jalen Brunson and co. are due for a great game. And if they get that great game, now it's 3-1, maybe it's 3-2 when it happens, and you have a chokehold on the series. Now you just need one of those bad shooting nights. You just need one of those any given Sunday type of moments, and the Knicks are through. It just feels like, and again, maybe the Celtics are just so good, they never allow the Knicks to have a great game. But the Knicks are too talented to just play absolute trash for the next 3 games. They have a good one in them. The question is, if they have that going in them and they go up 3-1, do the Celtics have enough, mental fortitude and gut check to bounce all the way back? Because the Knicks are going to have a good game. It's happening.
I mean, I think it comes down to today. I think whoever wins today's game is going to win the series. It's game 4. If you get down 3-1, there's only been 13 teams in league history to recover from a 3-1 deficit. It's happened before, but it don't happen very often. If the Knicks lose today, the series is over. The series is over. Like, you had the advantage in stealing the first 2 games in Boston. You then lost the advantage losing 2 back at your crib. I'm not picking the Knicks to win a 3-game series over the Celtics. I'm not. Maybe you will. I'm not picking them to do that. You need to win today. You stole 2 in Boston. You need to win one of these next 2 games at home, the game coming up tonight. You win today, you're up 3-1 in the series, and now you got 3 games to play with potentially, and I would say some of the pressure has moved off of you. And then, hey, if you lose game 5, no one's worried about that back in Boston, and then you got game 6 back at the crib, basically winner take all. You got to figure out a way to win that game. That's the pathway to me for the Knicks. If they want to steal this series, it really starts today in game 4 against the Boston Celtics. Coming up on the other side, let's talk a little bit of football. Derek Carr retired over the weekend. We'll discuss it. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
For the first time in a long time, I'm willing to dream that this can be a special season for the Missouri Tigers.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here. Are you feeling tired, maybe a little foggy, or just not like yourself? Well, it could be low T. Symptoms like low energy, poor sleep, and a lack of motivation. They don't have to control your life. And at Heartland Men's Health, they specialize in treating low testosterone and helping men regain their vitality and confidence. With just a simple, quick quiz at heartlandmenshealth.com, you can find out if you're experiencing low T, and then you can book a $100 consultation. They'll run your labs, and within 30 minutes, you'll have your answers. And if you start treatment that day, then the visit is on the house. In just weeks, you'll feel more energy, get better sleep, improve workouts, and have a stronger sex drive. So don't let this hold you back. Pick up the phone. Don't wait. Call 844-447-6600 or visit heartlandmenshealth.com today. Heartland Men's Health has 3 locations to serve you: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City. Reclaim your energy and confidence today.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Cosentino's food stores are celebrating 77 years of serving Kansas City. Come in today for incredible anniversary savings across the store. You'll find some of the hottest prices of the year, now through May 20th only. From fresh produce to family favorites, don't miss the unbeatable prices at every Cosentino's location. For 77 years, it's been our family's honor to serve yours, and we're just getting started.
Honey, it's me, your wife. Spring is here, and our house desperately needs the experts at Powell Exteriors Casey for siding, windows, entry doors, beautiful decks, patio covers, roofs, and more. Get ready for summer at PowellCasey.com.
Say goodbye to dealerships and private sale tire kickers when you sell your car to GiveMeTheVin.com. Now we're even better with the GiveMeTheVin.com big cash giveaway. Win $25,000 in cash every month. Sell us your car to increase your odds of winning. No purchase necessary. For official rules, go to GiveMeTheVin.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
This report is brought to you by Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. Proud partner of the Kansas City Royals. Each can of Surfside is only 100 calories and the best part, 0 bubbles. Grab it at the K or ask for it at your favorite bars and liquor stores.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
A crash westbound 70 at northbound 291. Be prepared to stop. And an accident eastbound US 50 before Smart Road. The right shoulder is closed. I'm Bill Brooks, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
Be sure to follow The Drive on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, I changed my mind. I don't want to talk about football. We'll talk about football in a bit. This has come up a couple of times on my TikTok page today, and enough people have asked me about it in my personal life that I think it's time for us to talk about it. Rob, what are the Savannah Bananas, and how did it get this popular? Now, I know what they are. Like, they are a traveling baseball team. It's akin to the Harlem Globetrotters. They're selling out football stadiums. Think about the things that are not football that are popular enough to sell out football stadiums. We're talking about Taylor Swift, Beyonce, Kendrick Lamar. I mean, like, the most famous musicians in the world. I mean, there's no basketball team that could fill out a football stadium. I mean, there's really only one soccer player currently playing soccer in America that could fill out a football stadium. That's messy. Like, there are not many things that can generate enough interest to fill a football stadium. How did this happen? How did it get so big? Because, I mean, not that long ago, I remember they were playing games at the T-Bone Stadium, the Monarchs Field. I remember I helped my friend get tickets to it. They're now doing multiple dates at the K. They're selling out the football stadium in Tennessee. They're selling out Death Valley in Clemson and getting 80,000 people to come watch a baseball game. How is this happening? How did it get so big? I've never seen them on television. I've never really seen it advertised. Was this like a word of mouth thing that happened? And this is not me throwing any shade at the Savannah Bananas. Like, I think what they have accomplished is amazing. And they obviously have an incredible following. I'm just trying to figure out how this happened. I mean, they've never been able to do this in football, and football is the most popular thing in America. They've never been able to have like this traveling fake football team go around. I mean, are these like former major league players? Are these like college baseball players that like couldn't make it to the majors, so they decided to sign up and do this Savannah Bananas thing? Like, how did this happen? How did it get so big? How did it get so popular is my question.
I honestly don't know. Now, my guess, and this is a very speculative guess, it's got to be a great event to take your kids to. Because I will credit the Bananas for this, and I've seen a lot of it on social media too. Whoever is the owner or the promoter, I apologize for not knowing his title. He does a lot of TikToks and things where he tells you that he is very in tune with what fans want from his event. So the games are fast, concession stands, lines move quickly. It's a fun event. There's music. It's basically a party for 2 hours. Your kids get to watch the Globetrotters version of baseball, and then everyone goes home. Like, I think that's the allure, is that it's quick, it's great for kids, and it's, fun, energy, upbeat with, no standing around, no lead time, no dole time. But, I mean, could anyone listening name a singular player on the Bananas? Who do the Bananas play against each week? Like, who's the Washington Generals equivalent? But I think the allure is it's a great event to take your kid to, and then you eject. And I would also tell you, they're smart. There's an appetite for baseball in South Carolina. It's just they never get to see baseball in South Carolina. So it makes sense why you do a one-off, standalone, cool little thing, and everyone shows up.
Yeah, text line 913-586-7965. Someone says it's popular because it's fun. I mean, no question. This is beyond just popular. Like, someone says this reminds me a lot of And One back in the day. And One was not nearly as popular as Savannah Bananas. And you're talking to somebody who grew up during that time, had the And One mixtapes, went to go see them back when they were at Kemper. They couldn't fill up Arrowhead. Rob, just take a guess. Right now on StubHub, they have 2 dates. It's coming up in a couple of weeks, next week actually. What do you think is the cheapest ticket to go watch the Bananas play at Kauffman Stadium next week? What do you think it is? This is to give you a
resale market. I assume they're not selling these.
It's sold out. Yeah, it's sold out. So I'm on StubHub right now. This is section 425, row TT. I mean, you sitting up high. These are not desirable seats. How much do you think they are?
You wouldn't be asking if it's cheap. I'm going to say 102.
167.
Woo.
160. You know how many real Royals games you could go to for $320 a ticket? I mean, somebody is going to pay this. Like, these tickets will be sold at some point. I'm just, again, I promise you, this is not me hating on the Savannah Bananas at all. I'm not in the market for this. I'm not interested in watching fake baseball. I'm not interested in the fun, goofy baseball. I'll just go watch the real baseball. But there certainly is a market for this, and you should have the option to go out there and do it. I'm just like, real baseball isn't that popular in America. There's not a baseball team right now that could play a game at a football field and get 80,000 people. Nobody. I mean, you could put Yankees, Dodgers. They are not getting 80,000 people to show up to SoFi Stadium to watch play a baseball game. No chance. the Savannah Bananas are doing this around the country. It's not like they're just doing this in one market. Like they are doing, if you could sell out Kauffman Stadium 2 times in a row, they could play a game at Arrowhead. The only reason they are not playing a game at Arrowhead is because they are getting the stadium ready for the World Cup, or they would be at Arrowhead, and I'd be talking about, this would be like Chiefs Broncos prices to be able to go to the game. I'm just trying to figure out how one day we just woke up and the Savannah Bananas became the most popular baseball team in America, because that is what has happened right now. They're more popular than the Yankees. They're more popular than the Dodgers. If you're doing these kind of numbers, you are the most popular baseball team in the world.
I think part of it, too, is that they're an event. Like, the Royals play 81 games at home. That's the way it works. The Bananas are playing 2 nights, and then they're out of town. It's like a traveling sideshow. We talk about, we talked about when you were at the Derby, how there's sporting games and then there's events. The Bananas have turned a night of baseball into an event. And it's barely baseball. It's, one guy pitches while on stilts. Like, it's not baseball. But they have turned a singular baseball outing into an event. The same way you're like, oh, my town has that thing, I need to go see it. It's basically the Globetrotters on steroids. The Globetrotters could sell out the Sprint Center. It doesn't mean that KU, Mizzou, and K-State aren't going to do good numbers that same weekend. It's a spectacle.
Can these guys actually play? Because
I don't think so.
Because we laugh about the Globetrotters, but you remember back in the day, the Globetrotters would play exhibition games against colleges, and they would win those games. Like the guys that play for the Globetrotters, they used to play D1, guys that couldn't make it to the NBA, and now they got the opportunity to play in front of people. And don't get it twisted, like they can really play. Are the guys from the Bananas, are they guys that used to play at North Carolina and guys that played in Nebraska, and they just don't have, the ability to play in the major leagues? And if they wanted to, they could be playing for Northwest Arkansas. They could be playing for Omaha, and they probably making more money going around the country and playing for the Bananas.
Maybe this is wrong by me, but I think it's like they, instead of taking the Monarchs path, which is what would happen, hey, my days of competitive baseball are done. I'm going to play associated baseball, Northern League, not affiliated baseball, or I'm going to play for the Bananas and the check is better. That's my guess, is that you had a choice. You want to play unaffiliated baseball and hope you work hard enough to get back into the minors, then rise up, or do you want to go be the guy that does a backflip in left field to catch a pop fly? I don't think any of them are major league quality players.
Someone on the text line makes a good point. This is like WWE. This is funny because my cousin, you guys know I went to WrestleMania a couple of weeks ago, and my cousin is a diehard big Raiders fan. Big reason why we went. WrestleMania was in the Raiders Stadium. And we were there, and I asked him, I was like, hey, which one do you like more? Like tomorrow, if I told you could no longer watch football and no longer watch wrestling, which one would you pick? And he said, I would never watch football then. I was like, why? I was like, one's real, one's not. I was just curious. And he was like, well, one's year round. He was like, I just love the stories of wrestling. I love the characters. And I was like, I never thought about that. Like, I never thought about it. Like, with this, like, I get it. Baseball games are kind of stale. And I love going to baseball games, but you kind of know the experience that you're going to get when you go to a baseball game. From just looking at the videos and looking at the highlights, I don't know what the Savannah Bananas are. And it looks cool when you're looking at it like, hey, this is like baseball fun, and they're doing all these cool rules, and it seems like a really enjoyable thing for the people that are going out there. I've seen the videos for this, and I was just really curious. And obviously you guys are very interested in it. I mean, it's sold out 2 nights at Kauffman Stadium, and they are doing a world tour right now where they are going around and just having so much success. So really, really cool. All right, coming up on the other side, we actually have breaking news that I think you guys will want to know. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, your home for the best food takes in KC.
Regular old American nachos. I don't need jalapenos with mine, just chips, cheese.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5 The Fan. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
A crash westbound 70 at northbound 291. Be prepared to stop. And an accident eastbound US 50 before Smart Road. The right shoulder is closed. I'm Bill Brooks, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
Hey, it's Rex here with RexBuysKC.com, your local KC home buyer. If you own a property in the Kansas City or surrounding area and want to sell it fast and at a fair price, write this number down, 816-330-6000. I'm a private real estate investor, not some hedge fund or large national chain. My family and I live right here in KC. I can pay cash and close on your timeline, even in as little as 3 days. Here at RexBuysKC.com, we're improving Kansas City one house at a time. I buy inherited houses, vacant houses, foreclosure houses, behind in payment houses, my tenant won't pay the rent houses, and properties that need complete rehabs. Do you own a house that's trashed and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at this number, 816-330-6000. That's 816-330-6000, or go to RexBuysKC.com. That's RexBuysKC.com, and I look forward to working with you.
Royals coverage sponsored by Metal by the Foot, your metal project superstore.
Where can you find an extensive line of Blue Demon welding supplies, filler, rods, and wire? Metal by the Foot, located in KC and Topeka. Online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the foot.
BetMGM is making your next golf tournament winner bets more exciting with Second Chance. What's Second Chance? Ever bet on your favorite golfer to win a tournament only to see them miss the green? Well, with BetMGM's Second Chance promotion, you'll get your stake back in cash if your tournament winner bet finishes in second instead. That's right. Simply bet on any player to win a scheduled golf tournament during a promotional week. If you're right, you win. But if your pick finishes in second instead of first, you get your stake back in cash. Watch your favorite players go for the win all season long and bet knowing you'll get your stake back if they finish second. Log in today and make your picks with confidence with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
What's up, baseball fans? It's time to swing big on your bets this season. Step up to the plate with an odds boost token from BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. No opt-in is required. Just log into your BetMGM account to receive your odds boost token. Then place a bet on any MLB game and activate your token. If your boosted bet hits, you'll score a bigger payout. No matter the showdown, BetMGM is your betting home for baseball. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years of age or older. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements, rewards vary and expire in 1 to 7 days in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
If you need to hire, it seems like the whole process can be exhausting. You search resumes, wait for the right candidates to apply, set up initial interviews. It's a lot of time and work. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates for your job the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro is super easy to use. You simply pick a time, and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you can choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day. Best of all, you save time and energy.
Try Zip Intro for free right now at this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today, talk to qualified candidates tomorrow. Once again, go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Royals coverage sponsored by Renner Garage Door, forward and back, RENNER.
Almost Andy Reid here. It's Mental Health Awareness Month, and Renner Garage Door is giving back. 5% of sales go to Authentic Life Foundation, and you get 5% off your project. Visit RennerDoor.com.
RENNER, RENNER.
Go check out 96.5 The Fan's Instagram page for videos, giveaways, and behind-the-scenes content. Your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
All right, so we have an update on Chiefsaholic. You guys remember Chiefsaholic was the Chiefs fan that was going around robbing banks. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there is a documentary on Amazon Prime. I don't know if I would encourage you to watch it, but it's definitely something. So he has been charged, sentenced, 32 years. So to give you guys a little bit of clarity, he is serving 17 and a half years in a federal prison because, going across state lines, robbing people, brandishing guns at folks, they frown upon that. So he's going to serve 17 and a half years in a federal prison. He then is going to be transferred to Oklahoma, and then he's going to serve the remaining 14 and a half years. So that's how they get to the 32 there. So moral of the story is he's going to be in jail for a very, very long time. We don't have to spend a whole lot of time on this, but I actually did watch the documentary, and I want to give you very quickly what my takeaways from the doc were. Takeaway number one. Now, I think we've learned this in other documentaries, and we will probably learn it again, but usually when people are flashing that kind of cash or living that kind of lifestyle, either one of two things are the case. They are insanely rich. I mean, one of the richest and wealthiest people that you know. Rob, you and I, through our jobs, get to meet some pretty well-off people. He was living better than them. I don't think you understand how much it costs to go to all of the Chiefs games and sit front row at all of the Chiefs games and gamble the way that he was gambling and eating and staying at these hotels and doing all of these things. You got to make a lot of money in order to do that. So you were just an insanely rich and wealthy person. Or B, it's fake. It's for the gram. And eventually it is going to come tumbling down. And that is eventually what happened to Chiefsaholic. Number two, now I'm sure you love a lot of people in your life. You love your mom. Happy Mother's Day. You love your wife. Happy Mother's Day. You love your kids. You love your best friends. You love a lot of people. For those of you that have seen that documentary, you know exactly what I'm thinking. You don't love anybody the way that that woman from New Jersey loved Chiefsaholic. It is impossible for you to love any person or thing the way that that woman loved Chiefsaholic. She said the Super Bowl wasn't as meaningful to her because Chiefsaholic wasn't free to celebrate it. That's what this woman said. So I don't know how she's handling this. Hopefully she's putting some money on his books. Hopefully she's going to visit him in the federal prison. I'm telling you, we all need somebody that has shown the loyalty and love that that woman showed toward Chiefsaholic. Well, I think this is the end of his story. 32 years in jail, Rob. He is going to do 17 and a half in federal prison, and he will serve 14 and a half years in Oklahoma. That is where he will be transferred to do the remainder of his sentence. I am curious how many of those years he actually do. You see people get out early all the time. And how old will Chiefsaholic be whenever he comes out? Because it does not seem like he will be coming out of jail for quite some time. So that is the final update that this show will ever have about Chiefsaholic.
I will say that woman from New Jersey, that I've seen the documentary. I watched with my wife, who did not know the story of Chiefsaholic, and her big takeaway was someone literally robbed banks to watch Chiefs games, and I said, yes, that's the thing that happened. Like it was not a bit on our show. It was a real thing. But the idea that a person who was alleging on the documentary a Chiefs fan felt like unfulfilled by the Chiefs' success because Chiefsaholic wasn't part of it, just nonsense to me. I also think Chiefsaholic gave Chiefs fans a bad name for a while. He was the butt of Pat McAfee's jokes for a long time. And obviously, I think he has, some traumatic past, and I'm never going to condone robbing banks, and he's a criminal, all those things. But he made Chiefs fans a punching bag for a while for the national media types.
Yeah, I think the Chiefsaholic story is actually pretty easy to figure out. I thought this before watching the documentary, and the documentary only confirmed what I thought before. Chiefsaholic was never cool. Chiefsaholic didn't have a lot of friends. He was never popular. And for the first time in his life, he found a community in which he was one of the more important people of. He was one of the people that you were one of the more popular and prominent Chiefs fans. And in order to continue to be that, you got to keep up appearances. And in order to keep up those appearances, you needed a lot of money. You needed a whole lot of money to be able to do what he is doing. Well, if you don't make enough to do this, you were then faced with the decision. You came to a crossroads. You can steal to maintain this image that you have put away, or you can stop being this person and go back to being a nobody. And he made a decision. I want people to know who I am. I want to be popular. I want to be part of this community. I want to look cool for the first time in my life. And that's what happened.
And I don't think you're wrong. To my point about it giving Chiefs fans a little bit of a bad name, at least the doc made it seem like Chiefs fans made him one of their, pillar figures of the Chiefs Kingdom community. I don't believe that, but that's the way the doc made it seem. Was he was this super prominent Chiefs fan that, Chiefs fans took photos when they saw him.
I actually kind of think that he was. This is the thing.
Maybe this is just my hate of super fandom and that whole genre of person that is bleeding through here. But you're telling me people were walking around Arrowhead getting ready to see Patrick Mahomes and they saw a dude in a wolf costume and thought, it's photo time? That's Chiefsaholic? That's not a thing?
Yes, I do think that. I'm serious. I do think that. You know how people are. People are weird. I mean, people were doing that with X Factor. If there is any group of people, there are usually leaders and prominent people in that group. Chiefs fans are a community. Now, some people just aren't actively engaged in that community. Hey, I don't care about that. I watch the games on television. I'm a fan, but I'm not into all that fan stuff that you guys are into. That's perfectly fine. But I think at this point, we know who the prominent Chiefs fans are. If I tell you guys, hey, do you know the woman that goes to the game and she has the two little puppets and they're boxing each other? Do you know who that person is? Everyone's like, oh, yeah, I've seen her. How about the one guy that looks like Chandler from Friends? You know what I'm talking about? They show him all the time on the television.
The blazer that has Patrick Mahomes' face on it, yeah.
He's one of the prominent people. Chiefsaholic is one of those prominent people. Weird Wolf, you know exactly who I'm talking about. If in every group there are leaders, he was one of the leaders. Now, sure, it's a very small thing. You're a fan that cheers for a team. It's cool, right? They're harmless people. I'm not here throwing shade at anybody, but you are one of the more prominent people. Chiefsaholic was one of the more prominent Chiefs fans. He absolutely was. And the story is just crazy. The story's crazy. We all do very weird things for our fandom, whatever it is, right? Weird things for our fandom. This is a story that everybody can relate to. And this is the story that even then it's like, you did that for that? It's a wild story. Again, I'm not telling you to watch the documentary, but it is a crazy story. Someone on the text line said, don't forget fake Andy Reid. You absolutely know who I'm talking about. And people I've taken a picture with fake Andy Reid before. I mean, I don't know his real name. You just fake Andy Reid at this point. Rob, there's a woman that makes a decent amount of money walking around because she looks like Taylor Swift. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I've taken a picture with her. Very, very nice woman. She looks close enough to Taylor Swift. She gets booked for birthday parties. She gets booked for karaoke. You don't think people are walking into Arrowhead taking pictures with the guy who is in a wolf costume? They absolutely are. Remember KC Royal Man that used to wear the cape and stuff and walk in there? Yeah, I'm telling you, every group has a leader. Everyone. For sure. Someone says there's no hierarchy in a fan base. There is. I'm telling you, there is. There is. We know those people. Fireman Ed for the Jets. Remember the guy for the Broncos used to wear the barrel? There is a hierarchy. There absolutely is. There's some of you have been to a lot of Chiefs games. They ain't never shown you on television. There's some people, they show them on the TV every single time when they go to the game. There's a difference.
I guess I just don't
You
like...
always talk about Moose Antler Guy. You always make fun of Moose Antler Guy. We don't know that man's name to save his life. I'm sure he's a great person. You talk about Moose Antler Guy at least once a week on this show. Royal super fan.
Because he frustrates me because
you be hating. That's why you be hating.
I guess my larger point, and it's societal, it's not about Chiefsaholic, is we shouldn't treat super fans like celebrities. The Moose Antler Guy, I saw him at the K walking
I got a
around.
picture with the Moose Antlers. It was just kind of cool.
People got remember the balloon girl? People took photos of her. Why? They're just regular people who are fans, the same way me and you are. I don't like this, making celebrities out of regular schmoes who just go to Chiefs games. If ESPN wants to make him a celebrity, cool. Don't feed into it, please. It just bothers me.
Man, people are just naming more fans that I've taken a picture with. I have a picture with the Marlins, man, too. Yeah, there's a lot of super fans. Yeah, you can make it to that point. All of us root for sports. A few select group of people have made it to the point of just insane popularity in cheering for a team. Someone asked, why are we talking about this? Chiefsaholic. He has now been sentenced. It is now over 32 years. He's going to do 17 years in federal. He's going to do the rest in Oklahoma. So now the book is closed in Chiefsaholic. The story of Chiefsaholic. So I would say shout out to him normally. It's normally what I would do. But I don't know if I can shout you out. You a felon. Coming up on the other side, we'll get back to serious football things. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison. Watch the show on YouTube by subscribing to the 965 YouTube channel. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5, The Fan.
Are you living with dry AMD? If so, you could be on the road to geographic atrophy, or GA, a condition that leads to retinal cell death and permanent vision loss. But with Izervay, you can
slow it down, get it going slower.
Izervay slows GA progression by targeting a key source of retinal cell death, which may help preserve your vision longer. Izervay, or Avastin Capted Pagel, is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Don't let clogged drains slow you down. Call Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter today for our $79 mainline drain cleaning special. The pros at Hamilton will inspect your drains with video camera technology to pinpoint exactly what is needed to clear those clogs and help prevent expensive drain repairs. The expert technicians at Hamilton are ready 7 days a week to solve your problem the right way, the first time. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews ensures your peace of mind. Visit callhamilton.com for details, terms, and conditions. License number 2025-11121.
As you prepare for your Memorial Day gathering, be sure to visit your local grocery store for Gates sauces and seasonings. Both are great on meats, fish, chicken, broccoli, and spinach, as well as hot buttered popcorn, a topping for your dips, or sprinkle Gates seasoning on chips and nuts to add that extra flavor pop. And nothing says Memorial Day like a Gates party tray. Or use Gates sauces and seasonings to spice up your home-cooked meal. So head to Gates Barbecue this Memorial Day. Gates Barbecue. Thanks with love.
Cosentino's food stores are celebrating 77 years of serving Kansas City. Come in today for incredible anniversary savings across the store. You'll find some of the hottest prices of the year, now through May 20th only. From fresh produce to family favorites, don't miss the unbeatable prices at every Cosentino's location. For 77 years, it's been our family's honor to serve yours, and we're just getting started.
For over 8 years, QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in non-surgical relief for joint pain, with over 50,000 satisfied patients. People with knee and back pain now living pain-free. Shoulder and hip pain gone. What they're doing is nothing short of remarkable. They're using regenerative cell therapy to restore the tissue in their achy joints. They're using biologic growth factors with robust healing properties, carefully and strategically placed in your joint. It's a powerful and potent way to give your joints new life. The best part, with QC Kinetics, there are no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. It's an all-natural cellular level option with lasting relief. Imagine doing all the things you enjoy this summer without being slowed down by that awful joint pain in your knees or your back. Call QC Kinetics now and learn about these cutting-edge treatments that can help you live your best life. Call 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. It's QC Kinetics.
I'm Brian Tedesco, CEO of Blaupunk Americas, the pioneers of the car stereo. Today, we're not just about sound systems. We are revolutionizing the e-bike scene with Blue Dot Bike. Thanks to AmericanEagle.com, our online presence now features a dynamic e-commerce website that showcases the quality and affordability of our foldable e-bikes. And our collegiate e-bikes, just perfect for the college fanatic. These e-bikes offer a new way to experience freedom on two wheels, no matter your age. When we needed a top-notch website to match our cutting-edge e-bikes, we turned to AmericanEagle.com. They made the impossible seem easy, tackling digital challenges like pros. Check out the Blue Dot Bike website to see AmericanEagle.com's amazing work in action. Need the best in website and digital marketing solutions? AmericanEagle.com is your go-to. They've been a game changer for us, and they can be for you too. Visit AmericanEagle.com or call 877-WEB-NOW-1. That's 877-WEB-NOW-1.
Do you think astronauts fight over elbow room? Probably. Because advanced tech doesn't always mean more space. Until now. Introducing the Hyundai Ioniq 9, a 3-row electric SUV with over 300 miles of range, ultra-fast charging capability, and lots of space. The all-new Hyundai Ioniq 9. Space in an EV. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
EPA estimated range for Ioniq 9 based on fully charged battery. For comparison purposes only. Actual range will vary based on several factors.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Expect partly cloudy skies tonight with a low of 61.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Your local Staples store has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. Save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This traffic report is brought to you by Midwest Auto Services. It's a slow crawl eastbound 70 from 71 past the curve south to Truman, and it's about that speed southbound 71 from 70 down to East 22nd. Southbound 35 is slow from 670 to the Southwest Trafficway split. Is driving your vehicle like fighting a wild bull? Does it lead, pull, or feel out of sync when you accelerate or brake? Are you replacing tires a lot due to poor wear? Let Midwest Auto Services check your alignment. Call 816-224-4247 or MidwestAutoservices.com. I'm Bill Brooks, KMBZ Traffic.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Welcome to your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, let's talk about this. Actually, I think I teased football. I don't want to talk football right now. Let's talk a little bit of Royals baseball. I switched up one. I don't know if a lot of people go to this website or not, but they really should. It's a really cool website. It's called RoyalsReview.com. Shout out to the people over at RoyalsReview.com. It is basically Arrowhead Pride, but the Royals version of it. So RoyalsReview.com. So I was going on there to get ready for the show. I like to read what they have. And one of their top stories, the headline is, "What if this is just who the Royals are?" So I clicked on the story. Now, I'm not going to read the whole story to you. I'll read the byline to you, and I think it will make a lot of sense. What if this is just who the Royals are? The offense might never improve, but that doesn't have to mean that the Royals are in trouble. You know what? I think that actually makes a lot of sense about this team. Now, I think the question is, what do you do about it? And what does that mean? I think in a lot of ways, this just kind of is who the Royals are. We have seen, if you go back to last season, so if you were using September the month of October, and all of this year, I know it's early, they've only played 42 games. As an example, I think you have a good understanding of who the Royals offense is. I also agree with the other half of the statement, but that doesn't have to mean trouble. I think the Royals are good enough in all of the other areas that they can still make the postseason with this very obvious flaw. The Royals might have the best pitching staff if you were looking at starting pitching and bullpen in Major League Baseball. They're certainly in the conversation. And if you pitch the way that the Royals pitch and play defense the way that they play defense, then you got a shot to win every single game that you were in. And we saw last year, if you win the right games and the games that you're supposed to win, you can win 85, 86 games, and you can make the postseason. So I would agree. It doesn't have to mean trouble for the Royals. The Royals are still in a very, very good spot. They're one of the better teams in the American League. But I think we have seen this enough with the Royals. I think you've seen this in football. I think you've seen this in basketball. If your team can't score, you just have a lower ceiling on what you can accomplish. You guys saw a lot of great Chiefs teams in the 90s. Teams that are the foundation of your fandom. And what made you love the Kansas City Chiefs? You saw a lot of teams that couldn't score. And if you were trying to beat other good NFL teams 13-10, man, it's really, really hard to do. A lot has to go right. You can't make a lot of mistakes in that scenario because one pick six, one fumble, one holding call on a third down, that is all it takes for you to be eliminated. I think that's what we're talking about for the Royals now at this point. There is a measure of satisfaction that I have with the Royals. The fact that we are even having this conversation about the Royals having a higher ceiling and being a very dangerous team is an exciting conversation. And there is one part of me that I accept this is who the Royals are potentially going to be. They're going to be a team that the offense is up and down and fluctuates all year. It's a team that you think can pitch with just about anybody, a team that could win 84 to 86 games, be in contention, possibly win a wild card round, and keep us entertained and engaged the entire year. I believe that about the Royals. But if you're somebody that wants to think big, if you're somebody that has higher hopes and aspirations for the Royals, then at some point they're going to have to do something to change it. They're going to have to make a move and be aggressive in a certain way that you're going to have to give up some of the things that you have accumulated to go get some of the things that you don't have. And if you look at the back half of the Royals lineup, I just think at this point, we know that that is not a grouping that will ever be consistent. Now, that's not different than a lot of other teams. But if you want the Royals to move from kind of where they are in that borderline wild card, maybe win their wild card series, likely lose in the first round to a team that's better than them, then something drastic is going to have to happen. So I guess to answer the question, I would say yes. This is who I think the Royals are. A really good, flawed team that has a pretty relatively defined ceiling based on their offense. If the Royals want to be a better organization than that and a better team, fine ceiling based on their offense. If the Royals want to be a better organization than that and a better team, then something is going to have to happen near the deadline where they are going to have to add an impact bat. Because right now, that is all we're talking about with this team. I don't have many questions about their starting pitching. I don't have many questions about the bullpen. Every day that you sit down and watch the Royals on television, or when you buy a ticket, you are asking yourself, are they going to score enough? This weekend, if you went out to the ballpark, the answer was no. And a lot of you went out to the ballpark. They got almost 90,000 people for their 3 games this week. I mean, they scored barely just enough on Friday. And on Saturday and Sunday, you just didn't do enough offensively to beat another good quality team the way that the Red Sox are. So to answer the question, the answer is yes. I don't know if the offense is going to be much better than what it currently is with the pieces that they have. It doesn't have to mean trouble for the Kansas City Royals. You can still make the postseason the way that they are right now. But if you got dreams and aspirations about being bigger than that, eventually something has to change, and your lineup and roster has to change. And I'm not just talking about bringing somebody up from the minors. I'm talking about going to get an outfielder from somebody else's team and adding him to be your fifth or sixth hitter. That's what needs to change in the near the deadline.
So we absolutely agree. They need to make, and I think it's multiple moves. I think you add a cheap minor-ish move, and then you take a big swing to try to get, Jorge Soler is a name I've seen. Like, you try to get that level, and then you also hope Kaggs comes up, and then there's a kid in AAA who a lot of people are comparing to a Whit Merrifield. His name's Peyton Wilson. I think it's going to take more than one singular move. We agree on that. The Royals are going to need to make multiple additions to fix their fatal flaw. But to answer your question, I 100% agree with you. This is who the Royals are. We're going to see them at some point this season go through another bad stretch like they had in April because they're not hitting enough, and they're going to lose games 4-2, 2-1, and it's going to make you want to pull your hair out. There's going to be another point this season when they get red hot, though, where they're going to go 15-2 over 17 because the hitting is going to work. For a cross-sport comparison, which is really one of the pillars of this show.
We love them.
Do you know what the Royals are? They're Virginia basketball. Some years, the defense of Virginia basketball was good enough that they shut down everyone and they got just enough scoring. They won a national title. I can see the Royals hitters, Vinny, Bobby, Salvi, all getting hot in October, and with that staff, they could be a beast to reckon with. I could see it. They have more Virginia basketball. Kyle Guy became Inferno, and that team won a national title. Ty Jerome got really good. That team won a national title. You know what happened the year before? They couldn't score at all, and Virginia had a bad night, and their defense disappeared, and they lost. I could see that too. The Royals could be in the same wild card game they're in last year, or wild card series, excuse me. And instead of getting elite pitching and just enough hitting, they might get just okay pitching and not enough hitting, and they're out in the first round. I could see either scenario. It's going to be a matter of, are they in one of those hot spurts, or are they in the midst of a cold stretch come October if they make no changes? And that's fine. That's who the Royals are. They are a hot streak away from being a prohibitive problem. They're also a cold streak away from being a team that you're going to be like, is this a playoff team? But we agree. The larger point is, I think J.J. Piccolo sees that. I think John Sherman sees that. And I think help is on the way in the form of multiple bats from outside of the organization and probably bats from inside the organization. It's just they've played 42 games. I don't think they're making wide-sweeping changes yet, but changes will be coming.
This would be my question, though. Because I would say 80% of me agrees with what you're saying, so I don't want to make it seem like we're that far off of it. The same problem that you and I saw for this team on January 12th, it is the same problem that we see for them on May 12th, and I don't really think that they spent a lot of resources this offseason to go address what that issue is. I mean, their offense is why they got eliminated last year in the postseason. The Yankees didn't come in here and just, 8-1, 9-1. No, the Royals had a chance to win all of those games. Why did they lose? They couldn't score enough. Now, as we start the season, they are over 500. They're in third place in their division. I mean, they're 13th in the American League in scoring. They're 13th in the American League on base percentage. They're 13th in the American League in slugging percentage. They're 26th overall in baseball this season. Someone on the text line says this reminds me a lot of the Chiefs winning or losing without much offense. They are not like the Chiefs. The Chiefs' offense was average. We are used to the Chiefs' offense being high-flying, dynamic. We're used to Patrick Mahomes throwing for 50 touchdowns, 5,000 yards, and being the best quarterback, the MVP of the league. The Chiefs' offense was just regular last year. That is not what the Royals' offense is statistically. The Chiefs' offense last year was 17th, slightly below average. The Royals' offense is bottom 5. That's really, really hard to overcome. You can make it like the Chiefs did last year, where you are elite at one side of the ball. They were top 5 defensively. They were 4th in points given up with an average offense. It's really hard to do it where one of your sides of the ball in this context in baseball is bad. It's bad. Their offense is bad. There's really no other way to quantify it. The only teams they are better than so far offensively are teams that are basically about to give up on their season. They're better offensively than Pittsburgh, Chicago, and Colorado. That's really about it in Major League Baseball. So you just have to do a lot of work in all of the other areas to make up for the fact that you don't feel like you can consistently score. And I think that's where the crossroads where we are with the Royals. So to go back to the main point, I agree with them. Yes, I do think this is what the Royals are. I still think they can make the playoffs this way. You can't dream big with a bottom five offense. The same way in football with the Chiefs. Hey, you can get real close with a defense as bad as the Chiefs had back in 2018, but everything has to go right. You needed Patrick Mahomes to have one of the greatest seasons in the history of the National Football League, and even that wasn't enough in order for you to go to and potentially win the Super Bowl. You need almost everything to line up perfectly if one side of your offense or one side of your defense is going to be bad, where you got to carry the rest of the team, and that's where the Royals are right now.
And I think, and to your point about, hey, we had this conversation in January, I think, and it has backfired. I'm not crediting the Royals for this, but I think one thing they thought come January is we're going to try to find that outfield bat. They never got it. It never price point, trades. We know they were trying for players. There were reports that they came close on Yerkson Profar. They got outbid. They came close on Anthony Santander. They got outbid. They tried. They failed, though. But I think their thought process in January was, okay, we couldn't get the outfield bat, but last year the Royals were 13th in runs per game. 13th. That is average, or a little above average in Major League Baseball. They felt like adding Jonathan India, if they could be another average-level offense with their pitching, they could be better this year than last year. That was their thought. I don't think the powers that be over at, is it One Kauffman Drive, whatever they call it, Royal Way?
Royal Way.
It is Royal Way. I don't think the powers that be over Royal Way thought they would go from, in 2024, we're 13th in runs per game, or 13th in total runs, to 26th. That's a precipitous drop. That's monumental fall off a cliff level behavior. That's everyone regressing all at the same time, which is basically what's happened sans Bobby. So it's not working. The plan failed. And I get why fans are mad. But when you ask, hey, what's different now? We had these conversations in January. In January, they were a middle-of-the-pack offense that we felt like if they can get that again, they'll be okay. They haven't sniffed that in 2025.
I've got two questions to ask you. One question I don't think I've ever asked you before. Who do you think is better, Derek Carr or Alex Smith? I asked that question because Derek Carr recently retired. Alex Smith obviously been retired for some time. We talk about him potentially being in the Chiefs Ring of Honor. I do think eventually he'll be in the Chiefs Ring of Honor.
Which is nonsense to me, by the way. So I apologize for interrupting.
Oh, you're good.
Alex Smith in the Ring of Honors. What are we doing?
Who do you think is the better quarterback between those two?
So you asked me this earlier today when we were talking about Derek Carr. And my knee jerk was, oh, it's Alex Smith. It's got to be Alex Smith. Then I started looking at the numbers. The answer is Derek Carr. Alex Smith in his career threw for 35,000 yards and 199 touchdowns, went to Pro Bowl 3 times. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that career. I think sometimes it gets knocked as not being great, but that's a fine NFL career. Meanwhile, Derek Carr threw for more yards, more touchdowns, threw for 41,000 yards. He threw for 257 touchdowns, went to the Pro Bowl more often. He was also at one point top 5 in MVP consideration, something Alex Smith literally never did in his NFL career. I think history will remember that Derek Carr was a better quarterback than Alex Smith. And it's not like either of them are peppered with massive playoff successes. The knee jerk was Alex Smith. You do the research, the answer is Derek Carr. Derek Carr was a better NFL quarterback than Alex Smith.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that both of them are examples of a couple of things. I think there is just a group of quarterbacks in the NFL that are just solid. I think that's what Derek Carr was for quite some time. Now, I think his body eventually failed him, but I think that Derek Carr for a time was pretty clearly a solid quarterback in the league. I think most people would say the same thing about Alex Smith. There was a time where we would compare 20 different quarterbacks in the league. Oh, he's Alex Smith. He was kind of the example of what it is to have the 13th best quarterback in the league. You could certainly do a lot better than that quarterback. You could do way worse than that other person. I also think that Derek Carr and his career is just going to be. Can I read to you the coaches that he had in his NFL career? Because I think a lot of why we feel the way we feel about Alex Smith is eventually someone came to save him. His career was failing. It was going real bad for Alex Smith. Eventually, Harbaugh came and resurrected his career. And then Andy Reid came and resurrected his career and really changed how people felt about him. I mean, these were the coaches that Derek Carr had. Dennis Allen, Tony Sparano, Jack Del Rio, John Gruden, Rich Bisaccia, Josh McDaniels, Kellen Moore. Those are the head coaches that he got in his NFL career. I mean, they didn't really give you a whole lot of chances for a whole lot of success if those are the coaches that you get handed. I think we have learned time and time again, yes, sometimes it is your own talent and the kind of player that you are. A lot of it is also situational. Who you get placed with, what organization you get drafted by, who's around you. Those things matter when you're this talent of quarterback. And Derek Carr just never really had a chance at being much better than what he was. Solid. Derek Carr was going to throw for 20 touchdowns. He was going to have 9 interceptions. Your team might finish over 500. Maybe you could grab a wild card spot. That was kind of all you were going to be if you were a quarterback. So, no, I'm right. Like, if you go back and look at the numbers, it's not really close between the two. Derek Carr had a better completion percentage, threw for more yards, more touchdowns. He is a better individual player. I think most people would feel the way they feel about Alex Smith is somebody eventually came to save him, and nobody ever went to go save Derek Carr.
I understand why this is a sentiment on the text line, that Derek Carr never won a playoff game. He was 0-1 in the playoffs, and that is part of Derek Carr's story. I also think playoff wins is not a great metric to judge, middling quarterbacks. But one thing about Derek Carr's career that I think people forget, it was 2016, he finished third in the MVP voting. Remember in week 17, or I guess week 16 at the time, he broke his foot. He broke his ankle. And he couldn't start a playoff game. And the Raiders, with Matt McGloin, I believe, just got drubbed by the Texans. But you're telling me that a Texans team of Brian Hoyer would have beaten Derek Carr? I don't think so. Now, we'll never know. It's a what if that Raiders fans will sit around and commiserate about, so who cares? But I think playoff wins is a bad metric when comparing these two, because it's not like either of them were just, they were both okay in the regular season, but one was just a, can't stop machine in the playoffs. They were very close to Spider-Man meme, but I think Derek Carr had a better career.
Yeah, I also think, but the thing I do think I give Alex Smith a lot of credit for, Alex Smith did play well in those postseason games. Like, he is a guy that I think you and I have the same opinion about Alex Smith. He also played pretty well. Like, I'm looking back at so he has 2 postseason wins in his career. Both are in the wild card round. Like, I don't know why we're beating our chest about playing well in the wild card round, but that's neither here nor there.
One was against Brian Hoyer.
But the other one's against Drew Brees. And in that game, he threw for 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. Like, you get credit. And he also ran for a touchdown. You get credit for that. Like, Alex Smith is a guy that I think has shown in multiple examples that, hey, I can elevate my play a little bit. Now, you're right. You're going to hit a ceiling at some point. You're going to go up against a better quarterback, and eventually you're going to lose. Both of them had, I think, pretty serviceable careers. Congratulations to Alex Smith. He certainly moved on and had great success post-NFL career. I think that Derek Carr is going to do the exact same. Derek Carr recently retired this weekend from the New Orleans Saints. If you look at the deal, he actually kind of gave them a little bit of a pass financially. They owed him a lot more money than what he ended up walking away with, but physically he can't perform anymore. Now the Saints The Saints might have the worst quarterback situation in the National Football League. We'll keep talking Royals here and getting you ready for their game tonight coming up against the Astros. Keep it right here. So Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
The NBA semifinals are here, and that means all the show-stopping action continues and even gets turned up a notch. Don't miss your chance to bet on all the legendary moments with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook app. Want to see if that guy's hitting his over consistently, or maybe they've been flirting with a potential triple-double. Get the latest stats right inside the FanDuel app. And once the game starts, that's when things really get interesting. You can combine live prop bets into a same-game parlay for a chance to win big. You'll get started with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. When you place your first $5 wager, all you need to do is visit FanDuel.com, use my promo code KFNZ to join today. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, and also 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued with nominal drawable bonus bet, which expires 7 days after restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Get up with your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit kansasgamblinghelp.com.
Gear? Check. Snacks? Check. Tires? Not so much. I didn't have time to deal with this, so I asked my friend. Her answer was simple. Take it to Telly, she said, and I'm so glad I did. They didn't just take care of my tires, they took care of me. We got you, they said, and they did. Fast, friendly, and stress-free. Now I know when life throws you a red card, take it to Telly. Stay in the game. Take it to Telly.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Napa, we are the pros that know AC services inside and out. From professional-grade replacement parts to complete system solutions, Napa has what your business needs to keep your customers cool mile after mile. Need AC repair kits and refrigerant? How about compressors and condensers? Name the part, Napa has you covered coast to coast, behind a nationwide network built to keep your business ahead of the curve. Find your AC parts right now at Napa.
Harris Kansas City is giving away $150,000 in guaranteed prizes Saturday, June 28th to celebrate Mid-Year's Eve. One lucky guest will walk away with $50,000 in cold, hard cash at midnight. Plus, leading up to the big finale, you can win up to $2,500 in free play every 15 minutes. The best part? You can earn extra entries into the big drawing from now until June 28th. Don't miss the hottest celebration of the summer, only at Harris, Kansas City. 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Nia.
Hi, Nia. It's Jennifer. Did you know that Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, I work here.
Okay. I was just double checking. Get it?
Because Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, you get me, Nia.
You could say that I double get you.
I guess we've taken it too far.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, cause you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things. People. Love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Napa, we are the pros that know AC services inside and out. From professional-grade replacement parts to complete system solutions, Napa has what your business needs to keep your customers cool mile after mile. Need AC repair kits and refrigerant? How about compressors and condensers? Name the part, Napa has you covered coast to coast, behind a nationwide network built to keep your business ahead of the curve. Find your AC parts right now at Napa.
Royals coverage sponsored by Metal by the Foot, your metal project superstore.
At Metal by the Foot, we pride ourselves on delivering the highest quality metal to meet your exact needs. Located in Casey and Topeka, online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the foot.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
On the Kansas side, Highway 9 is closed between 635 and 169. On the Missouri side, southbound 435 is still very slow from the 210 down to Highway 24. I'm Bill Brooks, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
Hey, it's Cole Reagans from the Kansas City Royals. You're listening to The Drive with CDOT on 96.5 The Fan.
Let me know what you guys think. We were having the conversation of what quarterback do you think had the better career? What quarterback do you think was better, Derek Carr or Alex Smith? Alex Smith is retired. Now Derek Carr is retired. In their career, Alex Smith played for 14 seasons. He threw, where is it at? I had it, then I lost it. 168 touchdowns. My apologies in finding that. And Derek Carr, in his career, he threw 257 in his career, so certainly a lot more for Derek Carr. Carr wasn't nearly as mobile as Alex Smith. Alex Smith did have a little mobility. He wasn't like the most mobile quarterback. He could run a little bit. Also had a little bit more postseason success. I feel like they are very, very comparable. One just got a chance to get coached by good coaches, and the other one didn't. And I think ultimately that ended up being the difference in their career. Let's talk about this real quick, Rob. Now, maybe I'm crazy in thinking this, but you know what? I thought that Friday was going to be like one of those moments that was going to like be a spark to the Royals season. I think every year I'm looking, and maybe it's because I was at this game when I was a kid, but you remember back in 2003 when the Royals won that Friday Buck Night game and Ken Harvey hit that home run. There was an extra innings, and, you know, it was a really, really big win. You know, it was kind of one of those games that was cool to be at. I thought that's what Friday's game had a chance to be. The Royals potentially stole one. Great crowd, beautiful night, 30,000. The Royals get a walk-off big extra inning win, the fireworks. They continue their winning streak. They continue the hot streak that they've been on. I thought that Friday was going to be one of those moments that really sparked the rest of the season. Then they scored 2 runs the next 2 days. Baseball, unpredictable. I really thought that about Friday, though. I really thought that Friday had a chance to kind of be one of those games for the Kansas City Royals. And now it's, you know, get back to the basics. I'm really excited about this series, and we had Robert Ford on earlier, I'm always intrigued to see the Royals play against teams that are in their own weight class. I do think we've seen enough Royals baseball over the last, year and a half or so. Like, there is a group of teams that it's pretty clear they're better than. Like, I would say the Orioles are now in that conversation. I know they played them last year in the postseason. Like, nothing the Orioles have done since the All-Star break last year would lead me to believe that they are on the same tier as the Kansas City Royals. And the Royals have really done a good job the last 3 weeks of doing what they're supposed to do against those teams. Well, now the schedule is turning just a little bit. You go against a Cardinals team that's 3 games over 500. You go against an Astros team that has had great success over the last 7-8 years or so. And you are coming off playing the Boston Red Sox. These are all teams that are hovering around the same. Boston is 22-20. The Astros are 20-19. The Cardinals are 22-19. So we are talking about slightly above average teams. They got a little bit of a good pedigree. These have better payrolls than you do. These are good clubs. I'm always intrigued to see how the Royals kind of stack up against that level of competition. They lost the series this weekend to the Red Sox, but you got 2 series coming up against good teams this week. I'm intrigued to see how they perform.
I get what you're saying about that being a catalyst, that 0-3 team. I don't know that game on Friday wasn't yet, though. I know they lose the Red Sox series, so maybe it's not. But if the Royals go on to win 2 or 3 against the Astros, then next weekend take 2 or 3 against the Cardinals, and then whoever they play after the Cardinals, they take 2. And all of a sudden we're like, oh, man, after that big Friday night win with Freddie Fermin, it was this great crowd. The Royals have now won 6 series in a row. are we going to look back that Friday night and be like, oh, that's what the team kind of sparked and came together? Like, I don't think we know the end of the story yet. I agree with you. It doesn't look like Freddie Fermin's walk-off on Friday night is the same spark that Ken Harvey's was. But it's possible it was, and it's just, hey, they got a little sluggish after that one, but now they're about to rev up and really go. I mean, we saw this team win a series against the Astros. The Cardinals across the state are absolutely nothing to brag about. Like, I could see the Royals get hot a little bit, and then they head out west. I could see the Royals get a little bit hot, and I think we then, with that knowledge, would say, oh, look, they really got going after that big Friday night walk-off. I agree with you, but I don't think the story's written quite yet to say it didn't happen that way.
Yeah, I mean, I think we just have to get more information. I think we have to see how things continue to play themselves out. We'll get back to the Royals coming up at the top of the hour. We'll also talk some football coming up at the top of the hour in the hits. Rob, if you can get the NBA music together, so maybe you missed the news, but NBC is getting back into the professional basketball business. You guys remember back in the day, NBA on NBC. They haven't had the NBA for, I believe, 23 years. They are going to be back next year as one of the television partners. Amazon's also going to be one. ESPN, that's going to be their television package moving forward. TNT Turner is not going to be included in the NBA package. Well, NBC is rolling out all the stops. They have Michael Jordan is going to be a special contributor to the broadcast. Now, what does this mean? We don't know yet what special contributor means. If I had to guess, I think Mike maybe does an interview with LeBron or Steph or one of those kind of players at some point, which would be incredible to see. I'm also guessing that they have him as part of the voiceovers and part of the broadcast in that way. This is my question, and this is my old man standing on the cloud moment for the day. I don't have a problem with the way ESPN is today. I think the model eventually had to change. I grew up like you, loved SportsCenter, loved the way the ESPN used to be. That's not a viable business model in 2025. You can't just show highlights all day. This is my problem, though. I also want more balance than just nonstop opinions. Maybe I shouldn't say this as somebody who gets paid to give my sports opinions, but I also want the television to give me a wider range of things. I want storytelling too. We used to do a really good job of telling stories around these players and building the mythology about these players. I don't feel like we do that nearly enough anymore. You know what I'm excited about? I'm excited to see NBC potentially get back to the storytelling of basketball. The major difference between the way that the NBA is covered and the way that the NFL is covered is, in the NFL, we talk about the games. In the NBA, we simply argue about the storylines, and we argue about what those storylines mean in that person's career and in the context of their legacy. We don't just have those conversations in football. We talk about the game and what this team needs to do, and then we talk about what it means for legacy, and then we talk about the storylines. I just want to see the NBA covered in a very different way, and I'm excited, Rob, that NBC is back in business, and I'm hoping we get back to the storytelling of professional basketball. Give me the introductions. Part of what was cool in the 90s was the Bulls introductions. Players don't get introduced. Why can't we make it a show anymore like we used to back in the day?
You're telling me you're not a fan of Stephen A. Smith arguing in July about LeBron's legacy? You don't like in October that when the Lakers are 0-1, we talk about, is this a failure that the Lakers drafted Bronny James? You want actual content about the basketball games? What? That is not what we do in the NBA. We scream and yell about things that don't matter in the large scheme of things because the individual games, that's not the story in that sport.
I just think we can do all of those things. I really think that the people that like the NBA are pushing back on how the NBA is covered. The NFL, they do such a great job. They make you feel like every game is important and it matters. And if you miss it, it is the worst thing that you could possibly do to miss this game. The NFL is constantly building itself up and telling you how great it is. The NBA, they tell you why you shouldn't be watching the NBA. It just doesn't make sense. I'm just hoping we get back to the basics. I love the opinions. I want opinions. I also want the stories. I also want the education. Show me what happened on this play. We do that all the time when we watch football games. I don't know why we stopped doing that covering basketball. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll talk about the Chiefs' schedule. At least we have a good idea of what their first game is possibly going to be. We'll also talk about the Royals that lost this weekend series against the Boston Red Sox. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
Hey, it's Cole Reagans from the Kansas City Royals. You're listening to The Drive with CDOT on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
On the Kansas side, Highway 9 is closed between 635 and 169. On the Missouri side, southbound 435 is still very slow from the 210 down to Highway 24. I'm Bill Brooks, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. With thousands of 5-star reviews, you can trust us to bring happiness home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
If the high cost of living is weighing you down, lighten your load at Hy-Vee. This Saturday and Sunday, get a 25-cent per gallon fuel discount with every $50 purchase. Stock up on groceries and stack up the fuel savings. Earn 25 cents per gallon with your $50 purchase, 50 cents per gallon with a $100 purchase, and so on. The more you spend, the more you'll save. Your next fill-up could be free. Don't miss the 2-day Fuel Saver event this Saturday and Sunday, only at Hy-Vee.
Graduation season is always so busy around our house, and when we have important celebrations, we trust Hy-Vee. They're my go-to partner for all of our family celebrations, and Hy-Vee can help you with your graduation party planning. They have party trays, personalized cakes, cookies, floral arrangements, party decor, and so much more. Plus, you can leave all the prep work and messy cleanup to Hy-Vee with full-service catering for any size celebration. Choose from a wide range of menu options to suit your style and your budget, only at Hy-Vee.
This report is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people.
It's Clean Car Month. Right now, get the Pro X1 Car Care Collection Wash Kit for just $19.99, exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. BetMGM is making your next golf tournament winner bets more exciting with Second Chance. What's Second Chance? Ever bet on your favorite golfer to win a tournament only to see them miss the green? Well, with BetMGM's Second Chance promotion, you'll get your stake back in cash if your tournament winner bet finishes in second instead. That's right. Simply bet on any player to win a scheduled golf tournament during a promotional week. If you're right, you win. But if your pick finishes in second instead of first, you get your stake back in cash. Watch your favorite players go for the win all season long and bet knowing you'll get your stake back if they finish second. Log in today and make your picks with confidence with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
What's up, baseball fans? It's time to swing big on your bets this season. Step up to the plate with an odds boost token from BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. No opt-in is required. Just log into your BetMGM account to receive your odds boost token. Then place a bet on any MLB game and activate your token. If your boosted bet hits, you'll score a bigger payout. No matter the showdown, BetMGM is your betting home for baseball. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years of age or older. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and expire in 1 to 7 days in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Are you living with dry AMD? If so, you could be on the road to geographic atrophy, or GA, a condition that leads to retinal cell death and permanent vision loss. But with Izervay, you can
slow it down, get it going slower.
Izervay slows GA progression by targeting a key source of retinal cell death, which may help preserve your vision longer. Izervay, or Avastin Capted Pagel, is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
What's up, KC? This is Matt Quatrero. On your way home from the ballpark, make sure to listen to Vern's postgame show right here on 96.5 The Fan. I will not be listening.
96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Congratulations on getting through your 9 to 5. Thank you so much for listening. It is The Drive. Hopefully, you guys had a fantastic Mother's Day. Maybe you had some graduation stuff over this past weekend. I certainly hope that everything went well. It is beautiful outside today. The only problem is when it gets like this, my allergies usually start flaring up. Some of you that have the seasonal allergies, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It feels like your eyes are on fire. You just randomly start sneezing now in a post-COVID world. When you sneeze one time, everybody starts looking at you all weird. You good? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine. I just got a quick little sniffle. I'm not sick. I'm not cold. I just got to take my Allegra now. Let me take my Allegra. Let me take my Benadryl allergy medicine, and I'll be good. I'll be straight. I sneezed one time earlier. Rob looked at me with so much disgust and contempt. I didn't understand where all that came from today. I didn't do anything to warrant that. We'll talk some Chiefs in this 5 o'clock hour. We'll talk some Royals in this 5 o'clock hour. I might try to sneak in and sprinkle in a little NBA in this 5 o'clock hour. We do know now the official sentencing for Chiefsaholic. He is going to do 32 years in prison. He is going to do 17 and a half in federal prison. He will then do the rest in Oklahoma. So I don't think that we are going to be hearing any more from Chiefsaholic. He has been sentenced for 32 years in prison. He got sentenced earlier today. So he will get out probably around the time that Patrick Mahomes' son is the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs. That is the time that Chiefsaholic will be out of prison. All right, Rob, where do you want to start before we get into the hits? You want to do a little Royals right now, or you want to do a little Chiefs? How are you feeling right now in this 5 o'clock hour?
Let's lead with a little Royals. We're about an hour away from Vern taking the air. Let's lead with some Royals.
All right, so let's do this. I think we can say something pretty definitive about the Kansas City Royals. Now, I don't say this to be a Debbie Downer. I don't say this to be negative. I really don't mean it that way. But I'm a big believer that we have seen enough Royals baseball to come to this conclusion. Their offense is a problem. Their offense is what is going to be the thing that holds them back the most from having a higher ceiling, from having the ability to really do something special this postseason and make a little bit of a run. So I added it up. I went back to last September. So when the Vinny injury happened, last September, last October, what they have done so far this season, if you throw that into this year, Rob, since September 1st of last year, they are averaging 3.28 runs per game. What does that mean in a real life sense? That would be good for 29th in Major League Baseball right now. They are currently 26th in runs scored so far this season. We have seen 25% of the Royals season. So yes, it is still early. There is still time to turn things around. I'm not telling you to give up on the Royals, but I think we have seen enough Royals baseball to come to this conclusion. I don't really see too many scenarios in which their offense is going to be why they get eliminated. I don't really see too many instances in which their defense is going to be the reason why they get eliminated from the postseason. it will be their offense. That is why they got eliminated last year. Their offense has not been good enough this season. Their offense is a problem. Now, I'm not here to just tell you things that you don't know. I'm here to tell you this about the Royals. I'm here to tell you that eventually the Royals are going to be faced with a very, very difficult decision. The decision is going to be they're going to need to give up something very valuable to go get a bat. Now, I don't know what that valuable thing could be. It could be Michael Wacha. It could be Noah Cameron. It could be Seth Lugo. I don't know what it is. But at some point, the Royals, who appear to have a surplus of starting pitching, they got a bunch of it. There's a lot of clubs that would love to be in a position where Kansas City is, where they got too much starting pitching. Eventually, the Royals are going to be in a situation where a team is going to have an outfielder that they like. And there's going to be another team, another franchise that also needs that quality bat, that also needs that outfielder, that also needs that second baseman, that is going to potentially offer more than what the Royals can. So the Royals are going to have to trade something that they really, really love. You can already see where this is headed. The Royals don't have enough offense to make this season truly special, in my opinion. They have enough offense to make the playoffs. They have enough offense to win 85 games. They have enough pitching. They have enough defense. They have enough of those things to win 85 games. I don't think they have enough to beat the Yankees in a series. I don't think they have enough to really contend with the upper echelon, or at least who we perceive those teams to be in the American League. Not if you're going to be bottom 5 in scoring. Not if you're going to average 3.2 runs per game the way that they have over their last 70 baseball games. Dating back to last year, we're talking about 70 games. They're averaging 3.2 runs per game. The average is 4. This team is going to have to do something to get their offense near the middle or closer to the upper half of baseball. And if they do that, they will then put themselves in a real chance where they can be dangerous, where they can really do something special and catch a team off guard. But it's just going to be really difficult to do it with the offense that they tried out there every single night.
I think they need to make multiple moves. And I agree with you. At some point, they're going to have to make an arm for a bat move. Now, that doesn't mean they're giving up Cole Reagans. Like, I don't want to speak for you, but you're looking at, maybe Noah Cameron is one of the arms they give up. They have an excess. It's a good problem to have. They have an excess of quality arms. You can afford to give up one for a bat. Similar to last year, they gave up a handful of, high-level prospects for a great reliever in Lucas Erceg. I could see that again. A prospect, a known commodity at pitcher, and you get a known commodity at bat. But I don't think that's enough. This team is not just one bat away. I think J.J. Piccolo and co. need to treat the offense the way they treated the bullpen last year. Because remember, it wasn't just, we had a Lucas Erceg, our bullpen problems are fixed. They did a lot of stuff to try to fix the bullpen. They went out and traded for Michael Lorenzen, a guy who they thought he can start, and then in the postseason, he can push back into the bullpen. That was one move they made. They traded for Hunter Harvey. Now, it didn't work out, but that was another back into the bullpen arm. They went out and made a move. We got to get that guy. Then they went out and made the move for Lucas Erceg. We got to add another arm to our bullpen. The Royals made 3 moves last season to improve their bullpen. I think JJ needs to do the same this year. I think he needs to make a move soon to improve the lineup. And I think he needs to make another one where we agree on the arm for a bat move closer to the deadline. And then you got to hope maybe a Peyton Wilson or a Nick Lofton or a Jack Caglione can be another addition through your farm system in August and September, because the offense they tried out there night in and night out, it's not going to be a special season good. It's going to have to be exactly what we were last year, and there's value in that. It's not, we're playing baseball around Halloween good.
Text line 913-586-7965. CDOT, you never, ever, ever, ever give up an arm for a bat. This is an absolutely dumb take to do this. I would like to point out that the Royals traded Zach Greinke. In return, they got Lorenzo Cain, Alcides Escobar, and they got a couple other arms. But Lorenzo Cain and Alcides Escobar, they ended up being the most valuable. They then ended up packaging some of those other things that they got to then make another trade. In order for the Royals to go get Ben Zobrist, they traded Sean Manaea to go out there and do it. So, we have seen examples of trading an arm for a bat have actually ended up pretty well for the Kansas City Royals. I'm telling you right now that what this team could desperately use is a bat like Ben Zobrist. It's just going to cost for you to do it. Everything costs. If the Royals aren't going to be major players in free agency and then spend the money to go get the bat, I mean, there's only 3 ways you can get them. You either draft them, and the Royals have done a really good job at drafting. You drafted Vinny Pasquantino. You drafted Jack Caglione. You drafted Bobby Wood Jr. Like, you can draft them. It takes years to accumulate that, but you can do it that way. You can either be big-time spenders in free agency to go find that bat. The Royals have never really been that team that you think is going to go spend big time, certainly not to get an impact bat in free agency, or you got to give up something you really, really love in a trade. You give up Sean Manaea. You give up Montgomery a couple of years ago in a trade. You have to give up something like that. If you think this team really has a chance, and if you look at the American League as being really wide open, which I think that it is, I think you would say the Yankees are the best team. After the Yankees, who's the second best team in the American League? Is it the Mariners? Is it the Astros?
It might be the Tigers.
It might be the Tigers. And, like, there's not really that much of a difference. I think we all know other teams in the American League are going to see the weaknesses that they have, and they're probably more inclined to add payroll than you are, and they probably got more ammunition. I mean, the one thing that the Royals have right now is a surplus of starting pitching. They just got a bunch of it right now. What they don't have right now is a lot of impact quality bats, certainly not in the outfield. I don't know if the Royals have the resources on their own roster to fix their problems. Because you guys keep telling me, well, they got to play Hunter Renfroe. They don't have a choice. Well, if you don't have a choice to not play Hunter Renfroe every day, you ain't got enough offense then. If you're telling me they can't get rid of Hunter Renfroe because they don't have any other options other than one of the worst hitters in Major League Baseball, it's a problem then. What is the pathway to the Royals getting to average? Because if you were looking at the standings and you were looking at the numbers of where they are offensively, if you are just talking about this offense getting to average, I'm not talking about the Royals being a team that scores 5 runs a game. That would put them in the top 5 in Major League Baseball. That's not what we're talking about. We are talking about the Royals going from 26th offensively, so being bottom 5, to what can they do to be average. If you talk about it early on in the season, if the Royals were average offensively, they'd have 26 more runs this season. Can you imagine how many more runs or wins the Royals would have if you just sprinkled 26 more runs? Now, sure, some of those might come in games that they win. Man, some of those would be on days like Saturday or Sunday where you just didn't have enough offense to win. It's going to be really hard to beat the Astros in series or the Red Sox in series. You aren't doing that with 4 games or with 4 runs over the weekend. You just aren't. You aren't beating quality teams with the offense that they trot out there every day. Something drastically is going to need to change from outside the organization. And I don't think the only fix is a 22-year-old who has never played Major League Baseball. I'm all for Cags coming up, but that cannot be the only thing you were counting on to generate offense for this team, is we're just waiting for this 22-year-old to come save us. No, you need to go trade for a 28-year-old who has 5 years of Major League experience that hits 270, can hit for a little bit of pop, and can move runners. You need to go make that move too. You didn't this offseason. And the question that we had about the outfield still exists. At some point, they have to address it if they want to take that next step as an organization.
Here's the thing, and I know you feel this way, so we're on the same page. If the Royals view Jack Caglione as he's the magic cure-all to the offensive issues and we're just waiting for him to come up and then all problems are solved, that's malpractice by the organization. To rely on a 21-year-old who has never taken a triple-A at-bat, mind you, to come up at some point in the season and, hey, we don't need to be trading a Chris Bubich. We don't need to trade a Seth Lugo. We don't need to move on from Michael Lorenzen because we have Cags in the pipeline. That's so flawed. How many times, Carrington, have we seen a prospect for the Royals be dubbed as the savior? They come up, the pressure of being the savior crushes them, and they never live up to the hype or expectation. I feel like that story is written in stone in Kansas City. We can name all the prospects that had them fail. If the Royals' plan is to bring Cags up in the middle of a postseason push and be like, hey, you're the magic elixir, fix it, the pressure for him to be perfect would be just immense. They need to make a handful of moves, I would say a bevy of moves, and Cags can be part of the equation. But if the largest part of the equation is Cags, then JJ Picollo is committing malpractice. Now, I don't believe he's doing that, but that That would be such a bad plan if it's just Cags as a cure-all. It'd be dumb.
Text line 913-586-7965. This offense can be good enough. Look at the Chiefs. I don't think we are comparing the two things when the Royals are bottom 5 offensively. The Chiefs were 17th last year offensively. So yes, the Chiefs did not have a dynamic offense last year. They were still hovering around average. It's not what the Royals are. We're a quarter of the way through the season, and the teams that the Royals have outscored are the Rockies, the White Sox, the Pirates, and the Rangers. 3 of those teams have already fired their manager. Someone on the text line says, C-Dot, calm down. We're above 500. You guys are talking like we're the Rockies. No, I'm not talking like they're the Rockies. I don't think they're the Rockies at all. I thought you guys are interested in them advancing in the postseason. I agree with you. The Royals can make the postseason the way that they are right now. I think the Royals can win 85 games the way that they are right now. I don't think the Royals are a viable World Series contender with their offense the way that it is. And if that's cool with you, then that's fine. I mean, I don't have that much of a problem with it. You know what? I love that they're really viable until football season. They get really viable, and then when they lose, it's like, oh, well, the Chiefs are 4-1 and they're the best team in the NFL. Like, the way they got things set up right now is actually really, really good for me. I like the way that they are right now. I'm interested in them potentially being better than what they are right now. I think the Royals are a good team. Their offense will never allow them to be a great team. You can't be a great team bottom 5 in offense. You can't. It's impossible to be. You can be a great team with their rotation. You can be a great team with their bullpen. You can be a great team with their defense. You can't be a great team with your offense that over the last 70 games, you're averaging 3.2 runs per game, which will put you at 29th on offense. You cannot be great if that's the case. So again, they are not the Rockies. They are a good team. They're going to win 85 games. They're going to be in contention this entire year. If the Royals want to really put themselves into the conversation of legitimate, true contenders, at some point they're going to have to make a trade to pick up a bat. They don't have enough offense, I think, to navigate through a very difficult postseason, scoring less than 3 runs a game. All right, Rob, let's talk a little football here.
Your workday is over. Oh, yeah. You're headed home, and now you're stuck in traffic. Time to get caught up on the biggest stories in Kansas City and around the country with C-Dot and Rob. It's time for the hits. Number 1.
Really quick, I just want to read this text and we'll move on. C-Dot, how do you know Jack is not ready? Jack could be ready. If they brought up Jack Caglione, I'd be standing with you guys. My point is, your only improvement for the offense can't be a 22-year-old who hasn't played Major League Baseball. Like, Cags might come up. What if he struggles for a little bit? Like, that's possible, right? I mean, that's happened before. So if your plan in June is to bring up Cags and go get a bat, I would say that's an ideal situation. Hey, you add 2 bats. There's not a lot of pressure on Cags to come up and instantly hit 5 and be a constant run producer for this team. So I'm not telling you Cags is not ready. I'm just telling you if that's their big plan is to add a 22-year-old who has never played Major League Baseball, that's not going to be the plan for the teams that they are in contention with. That's not going to be the Yankees' plan at the deadline. That's not going to be the Tigers' plan at the deadline or the Guardians or the teams that they're going to have to eventually beat in these playoff series.
I just want to let people know the hits are brought to you by Baker University, where graduates earn higher salaries and land jobs faster than any other university in Kansas. Apply today at bakeru.edu. Well, as the NFL news machine speeds up, we are starting to get one of my least favorite times of year, NFL schedule leaks. And according to the report, it looks like...
I love a good NFL schedule leak.
I don't mind the leaks. I hate the self-serving Taricos on Good Morning America. You know Nate Burleson will be on there tomorrow.
You hate the show of the NFL. I don't mind the show all the time.
They dominate the news cycle to announce that, the Bears and Packers are playing a game. We know the Bears and Packers are playing a game next year. But as part of this slow drip NFL news cycle, we now reportedly know how the Chiefs will handle week 1. They are, according to reports, headed to Brazil to take on the LA Chargers. Carrington, this has some fans up in a little bit of a huff that the team is headed out of country for week 1 on a Friday night. Do you see those complaints as valid, or is it just people like to complain and the Chiefs playing Brazil is a good thing?
I mean, I don't really know why you can fade the music down. We could talk about this. I don't really know why as a Chiefs fan you'd be that upset with this. This isn't a home game. I mean, a large majority of you were not going to this game anyway, and you were planning on watching it on television. Now, sure, some of you maybe were going out to LA, and now you're not going to be able to make that trip, or you live out there and you know, that's your one Chiefs game a year. I'm sure that's the case, but we're talking about what? This affects like 30,000 people? I mean, a large majority of us were just planning on watching this game on the TV. I am always going to be in favor of any Chiefs game that doesn't have them playing Sunday at noon. Sign me up. You were telling me that this is what my football weekend looks like for the first week of the NFL season. We got the Thursday game between the Cowboys and the Eagles. We have the Friday game on YouTube. It looks like it's going to be between the Chiefs and the Chargers. On Saturday, Missouri plays Kansas for the first time in football since 2009, I think it is. Somewhere around there. Maybe a little later than that because they're in the Big 12. So 2010, 2011, somewhere in that range. And then we got Red Zone Sunday at noon. And then we don't know what the 325 and what the Sunday Night Football game is going to be. And we don't know what Monday Night Football is going to be. That sounds like an ideal football weekend to me. I love when the Chiefs don't play Sunday at noon. And I'm always going to be on the side of you guys getting, if you're a season ticket holder, I want you to get all the games that they got you promised. As long as you get your 8 games every single year, I am on your side. And this year, they're not taking this as the road game. So I don't really know why you can be that mad about it. The only thing I think you can be mad about in relation to this is you can't even be mad about the television aspect of it. It's going to be on YouTube. You know they're going to show it locally, and it's going to be on YouTube. Great. The field will be awful. It will be awful. It really will be. I mean, it's bad that we already know this 3 months before the game actually happens, that I can tell you the condition that the field is going to be in. But we've seen enough of these international games. They played a game in Brazil last year on a soccer field, and it was a problem. You know that it's going to be a problem. We know that the NFL values profit over player safety at every single turn. I don't even know why the NFL is doing this, other than it makes us money. But everything they do makes them money. But I get it. You want to try to expand your market share. You have sold America more than enough football. So now you got to sell Germany football. You got to sell Mexico football. You got to sell Brazil football. I get it. But we already know this before they ever take the field. We know it before we ever see it. The field is not going to be in good condition. So, Mahomes, stay safe. Kelsey, Chris Jones, Trent McDuffie, everybody, stay safe. Because the quality of the field on that Monday, when we come back to discuss it, will be a major talking point. The NFL has shown us that time and time again. The field is not going to be in a great condition.
I also think it's fair fans complain that the NFL's greed and then their eyes being in their stomach is now they're taking over Friday nights. Like, on top of KU-MU that weekend and all the things you mentioned, you know what else is on a Friday night in Kansas City? Week 1 of Kansas high school football, week 2 of Missouri high school football. If you are a fan, if you are a parent, if you are a administrator, coach, person who works at a school, you don't get to watch the Chiefs now because the NFL it used to treat high school football like it was hallowed territory. Hey, you have Friday, Saturday, and then we dominate Sunday. The NFL's given up that dream. They're just going to take over every day of the week. I think it's fair if fans are a little bit upset that if you got a kid who plays for, Harrisonville High, you have to make a choice between watching the Chiefs and watching your kid. That's a little bit unfair by the NFL.
I don't think it's a little bit unfair. I think it is very unfair. I think the NFL, like somebody on the text line says, I don't like this because football is an American product. The NFL does not care about any of those things. The NFL has shown you we about this money. We don't care about you, the fan. We don't care about the health of the players. Go get us our money. Football on Friday nights is a high school thing. It has been that way for as long as we can remember. And the NFL never messed with that because they understand. Well, now we don't care about that. There is a window. The NFL just 2 years ago said they had no interest playing on Christmas if it didn't fall on their traditional schedule. They lied. Netflix came in, swooped in with the bag, and gave them the money for it. So I don't listen to the NFL about any of those things. If it makes dollars, it makes sense to them. They don't care. They'd play a game on the moon if the United States government paid them enough to do it. If NASA paid enough money to sponsor a game, they'd figure out a way to have Patrick Mahomes play on the moon. If you could get a game sponsored by the U.S. Coast Guard, they would have the Dolphins play underwater against the actual Dolphins. They don't care about any of that. So yes, you will get your football and you will like it. And we don't care what day you want it to come on. We decided it's coming on Friday, September 15th at 7 o'clock. You will be watching it. A lot of people will be watching it. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Testing.
We're live from Chick-fil-A.
This is Grant.
And this is Laura.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is that sweet bun.
And that chicken filet was perfectly crispy and soft at the same time.
And that Smokehouse Barbecue sauce, it's a lot of fun. And the brown sugar bacon definitely had a little bit more pizzazz. Also, the Mac, one of the all-time greats. Man, I'm getting hungry.
Order the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich and a Coca-Cola on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available to help people with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation when you call 800-586-4040. 800-586-4040. 800-586-4040.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Guys, don't waste your time and money with low-quality online TRT that charges you over $100 just to start. Visit our TRT experts today at the Low T Center for a free consultation and free test. Treatment is personalized to your body, and most major insurance is accepted with the freedom to choose if you want in-center care or at-home treatment. You're in control of your health. Looking to lose weight? Get a free B12 shot when you start your prescription treatment. Offer limited. Look now at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
Cosentino's food stores are celebrating 77 years of serving Kansas City. Come in today for incredible anniversary savings across the store. You'll find some of the hottest prices of the year, now through May 20th only. From fresh produce to family favorites, don't miss the unbeatable prices at every Cosentino's location. For 77 years, it's been our family's honor to serve yours, and we're just getting started.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Royals coverage sponsored by Metal by the Foot, your metal project superstore.
Who is the area's only dealer for Fronius professional welding equipment? Metal by the Foot, located in KC and Topeka. Online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the foot.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Southbound 69 is closed both directions from Highway 32 Kansas Avenue to before I-35. East KC westbound I-70 is jammed up from 435 to Highway 40. I'm Bill Brooks, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
Hey Kansas City, it's Bobby Witt Jr. Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
We were talking about the report, and we'll find out in a couple of days if this is 100% true, but I certainly think it is trending in that direction. It looks like the Chiefs are going to start their season on a Friday. That would be Friday, September 5th, I think it would be. Yeah, September 5th, because I think the Missouri KU game is on the 6th, so it'll be the next day. Someone on the text line says, high school Friday night football is huge in KC. What about those fans? The NFL is telling you to watch it on your phone. That's what they're telling you. Or stay at home. I don't say that to be callous. I understand that a lot of you, hey, my kid's a senior. I want to be at his game. I also want to watch my team. This is the problem that the NFL ran into when they decided to start doing this. They tried it last year. People liked the idea of it, and they are going to continue to do it. Like, this is now a part of the NFL schedule. The NFL is not really in the business of trying things and then abandoning it, especially if it goes well. It went well the last time they did this. They are doing it again. Christmas went well last year. They are expanding Christmas Day. So these Friday games, and if they had a choice, they'd keep doing it. They legally can't do it. There's like a television rule. We don't got to get super deep into it, but there is a window that they can do it when they're doing it, and then they get the ability to play games Saturday later in the year. That's why they start picking up Saturday in December and not earlier in the season. Like they can't show football games on the Friday and the Saturday during certain times of the year. So the NFL, anytime they think that there is a television window to show games, they will absolutely show games. So some of you are just going to be inconvenienced by this. Some of you are going to have to either tape it, watch it later, miss it, or watch it on your phone at the high school football game. But the NFL, believe me, they stop for nobody. They don't care about Jesus' birthday. I don't know why you think they care about Winnetonka and Liberty. They don't care about either one of those things. We got to go get to this money. And this television money, they are paying us way too much money for us to be considerate of your schedule. That's what they plan on doing. So, Rob, let's get back to talking about the Royals here. I'm really excited, at least with this version of the Royals, anytime I get a chance to see them play a team that is in their weight class. I think it's safe to say that this is a good week for the Royals. You play against the Houston Astros. They're always in the mix. Always a playoff team, one of the better teams in the American League. They're over 500. You go to their park for the next 3 days, and you follow that up this weekend against the St. Louis Cardinals. Divisional matchup, should be a lot of fans out there. They're over 500. I think this is a really good week for the Royals. We talked about using this past weekend as a litmus test for where people are with the Kansas City Royals. I made the point on Friday's show that just about every baseball country in America, with the weather that we were talking about this past weekend, with how well the Royals are playing, with the opponent that they were playing, that you were going to get 30,000 people out there on a Friday night. They got 30,000 people out there on Friday. They got 28,000 people out there on Saturday, and they got 25,000 people out there on Mother's Day. To give you a comparison, the Royals did better this weekend than they did during Big Slick weekend last year. So I think we are in line for another big weekend. I think we're talking about 30,000 people close to it coming out to the ballpark on Friday against the Cardinals, probably somewhere in that same range on Saturday against the Cardinals. And then on Sunday, they'll probably get somewhere between 26 to 28,000 people out there this weekend for the Cardinals. So, Rob, I know we spent a lot of time talking about attendance on Friday's show, and I think the fans certainly responded. They are all in on this season. They are very engaged, whether it is going out this past weekend, whether it's the television ratings or the radio ratings. I think fans responded in a big way that they are buying into what the Royals are selling.
I think the fans are bought in. And this show was probably the foremost voice for complaining that last season fans didn't buy in. We played the how many people are going to Kauffman Stadium tonight game. I feel like last season we kind of browbeat fans with, why are you not going? The team is good. The team is good. And everyone's like, no thanks. Fans are going back to the ballpark or listening and watching in big numbers this year. And I think those big numbers are going to continue because you mentioned it. They had the big weekend last weekend against the Red Sox. This upcoming weekend, they're playing the Cardinals. I'm pretty sure I saw someone say the Cardinals Friday night game's already sold out. So, like, they're going to do really well. And by the way, this is around the time last year. Remember that texter texted in that no one can expect Royals fans to go to games because of graduation weekend? Fast forward a year, fans are going during graduation time. Then the next series after those two homestands, looked it up, that's Big Slick. Kauffman is going to be one of the places to be on the weekend in May. You got the Red Sox are a big series, the Cardinals are going to be a big series, and then you got Big Slick to end the month. Like, they're going to do really big weekend numbers, and if the team on the field keeps performing the way they have been, they are going to get good numbers into June. I know fans went out this weekend, got met with a series loss. But if they go win the Cardinals series or they go, beat the Tigers during Big Slick weekend, you're going to see a bigger level of fan buy-in. So as someone who was one of the leading voices that browbeat fans last season, I will tell you, I am very impressed with the way fans have shown up, and I think the numbers are going to get bigger and bigger. And if the team keeps playing well, the numbers are going to get bigger and bigger. I don't think we're going to have July days this year where we say, why were there only 11,000 people at the K if the team's good? I think those days might be behind us, or at least small weekend series are behind us.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at the tickets for this weekend. I didn't even think about the possibility they could be sold out. It looks like you could still buy tickets now. I'm telling you, with the Cardinals in town, it ain't cheap this weekend to go out there if you were planning on going out there. But you do have the ability. This should also be a big weekend, so I just looked at how they're doing it. They're doing the 85 celebration on Friday, and then they're doing the 15 celebration on Saturday. So, I mean, this is a big weekend in Kansas City. I believe they're doing the big gala, the big dinner on Thursday, celebrating the 85 team on Friday, the World Series team from 15 on Saturday. So, I mean, this should be one of their biggest weekends of the year out there, which makes a lot of sense. Like, there's a lot of Royals history to celebrate. The Cardinals are in town. The weather should hold up again. The team is playing very well. The Cardinals are in town. So a lot of people either are here, they'll drive over from St. Louis. The Cardinals are a very regional team, so a lot of people around the area also cheer for the Cardinals. I think this is a very exciting time to be a Royals fan. They got to take care of business this week, but it's also encouraging. I mean, this weekend you'll get Reagans, you'll get Lugo in that series as well. So, I mean, it should be a really, really fun weekend coming up at Kauffman Stadium. All right, coming up, we'll get you ready for, there's a lot happening tonight in the NBA. We got a couple of very important Game 4s in the NBA. We also have the NBA Draft Lottery coming up. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Gear? Check. Snacks? Check. Tires? Not so much. I didn't have time to deal with this, so I asked my friend. Her answer was simple. Take it to Telly, she said, and I'm so glad I did. They didn't just take care of my tires, they took care of me. We got you, they said, and they did. Fast, friendly, and stress-free. Now I know when life throws you a red card, take it to Telly. Stay in the game. Take it to Telly.
If you're looking for that new career path, have you thought about IT? Think about IT. It's needed in every single industry, whether it's sports, healthcare, construction, manufacturing, you name it, and Centric can help you get there.
No better time in the city either. KC Tech Council has 3,000 IT jobs open in March alone. 3,000. Centric can train you to do one of those jobs.
We've told you about our friend Russ Mondry and his expertise in this field. Over 16 years at Centric. He's going to help you find that career path. So go to Centric.com.
What's up, baseball fans? It's time to swing big on your bets this season. Step up to the plate with an odds boost token from BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. No opt-in is required. Just log into your BetMGM account to receive your odds boost token. Then place a bet on any MLB game and activate your token. If your boosted bet hits, you'll score a bigger payout. No matter the showdown, BetMGM is your betting home for baseball. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years of age or older. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and expire in 1 to 7 days in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Life's better with American Family Insurance. Because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
As men get older, our bodies change. We all know that, and often we just accept the changes as the way it is. But some of those changes, such as bad sleep patterns, low sex drive, brain fog, no energy, and reduced gains in the gym, could be due to low testosterone. And that is something you can change. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. And even if you're in your 30s, if you're experiencing some or all of the symptoms I just noted, you very well may need low testosterone treatment. With our treatment protocols, if you're like most men, you'll be amazed at the change. You'll have more energy, improved mental clarity, your sleep will be better, so will your workouts, and you'll likely find that your sex drive increases too. So give us a call today and make the change for good. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices to serve you. Heartland Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
What's up, baseball fans? It's time to swing big on your bets this season. Step up to the plate with an odds boost token from BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. No opt-in is required. Just log into your BetMGM account to receive your odds boost token. Then place a bet on any MLB game and activate your token. If your boosted bet hits, you'll score a bigger payout. No matter the showdown, BetMGM is your betting home for baseball. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years of age or older. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements, rewards vary and expire in 1 to 7 days in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
New Harley-Davidson starting at $99 a month at Rawhide Harley. Over 600 Harleys in stock. Only $99 a month for a brand new Harley-Davidson at Rawhide Harley. Visit rawhideharley.com.
Payments based on Nightster models and base color with 30% down, 84-month term, 6.99% APR with approved credit. Doesn't include freight, setup, tax, title, and license fees. See dealer for details.
Call Aspen Lawn and Pest Control. Our iconic blue trucks and expert team get it right the first time. Award-winning full-service lawn care and pest control since 1985. Call today for a free estimate. Visit aspenlawn.com. Brought to you by MVP. Only $39 for an AC tune-up. Book now at themvpkc.com. MVP Air Conditioning, Heating, Plumbing, and Electric is your home's MVP this spring and summer. Get a summer AC tune-up for just $39 and avoid costly repairs. 913-214-1212 or visit themvpkc.com. MVP. One call does it all.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Southbound 69 is closed both directions from Highway 32 Kansas Avenue to before I-35. East KC westbound I-70 is jammed up from 435 to Highway 40. I'm Bill Brooks, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
We got a busy night in the NBA today. I understand that basketball is a make or miss game, so I'm not telling you anything that's unique to just the Celtics. But with the amount of threes that they take, it's more of a make or miss game for them compared to everybody else. They have taken 140 threes in their 3 games so far this series. 140 threes over 3 games. Well, in game 3, they shot over 50%. If you do that, I mean, it's going to be really tough to beat you. They outscored the Knicks by 45 points from the 3-point line. You got to make that up somewhere else, and there's not enough other ways to score in order for you to make that up. So the Knicks got ran off the court. They were down 36-20 at the end of the first quarter. They were down over 20 heading into the halftime break. I mean, that's really the end of the game. So it is game 4 coming up later today. So if you want to do a little dual screen action, you can. A little Royals and also a little NBA as well. I'm sure there's some NHL playoffs on today, so you can maybe triple box it, triple screen it today if you want. I know the Knicks are leading this series. It feels like they're behind. They have not outplayed the Celtics so far in their series. They haven't. The Celtics shot poorly the first 2 games. Now, the Knicks get credit for that, and you won the game. At some point, you got to go out there and you got to outplay the Celtics. You got to just beat them. And I also don't think they've done that yet in the first 3 games of this series. So can they do that in game 4? Because in my opinion, whichever team wins game 4 tonight, that's the team that wins this series. The Knicks are at home today. If you win one of these 2 games and you have a 3-1 series advantage, only 13 teams in NBA history have ever come back from a 3-1 deficit. History tells you that the Knicks are advancing then to the NBA Finals. Or you lose this series, or you lose this game, it's now 2-2, and now all the advantage that you had built up in winning the first 2 games in their building, you've now given that back to the Celtics and made this a best-of-3 series. I don't like your chances. So it's real simple for me in the first game tonight in the NBA. You got to run the Celtics off the 3-point line. They took 43s in game 3. They made 20 of them. You're not beating the Celtics. You're not beating anybody if they shoot like that. You got to run them off the 3-point line. You got to figure out a way to get Jalen Brunson going. He hasn't had one of those 32 points on 55% shooting. He hasn't had one of those games yet. The objective for the Warriors seems very simple. You got to try to extend this thing out as far as you can to get Steph back. you need more offense than what you got in game 3. Jimmy Butler had 30 points. Jonathan Kuminga, who never plays, he had 30 points. That was kind of it. You didn't get anything from Buddy Hield. I don't know what Draymond was out there doing. He was out there getting cardio. He had 2 points and fouled out of the game and had 4 rebounds. Draymond, you might as well be podcasting if that's what you planned on doing for tonight. You certainly didn't help us in this game. You just need more. You got to be able to step up because you don't have Steph there. That obviously changes everything you want to do offensively. So we got 2 games coming up later today in the NBA in about 40 minutes or so. We got the Celtics and the Knicks from Madison Square Garden, and we also have Minnesota and Golden State. Boston up 2-1. The Timberwolves up 2-1. I actually think that Minnesota is going to the NBA Finals. I think they're going to beat the Thunder in the next round. I don't know if that counts as a hot take or not, but I think Minnesota is going to play for the NBA championship this year.
I mean, the part about the NBA Finals I don't agree with, but I was about to say it as you said. And if you're the Wolves, finish the job tonight. You have a chance to keep Steph out of the series, and you're going to get bonus rest because Nuggets and Thunder is 2-2. They have to go to a 6th game. That series feels like it's trending towards 7. It feels like that's a 7-game series. So, like, if you're the Wolves, kill Golden State tonight, get to kick your feet up and have a little R&R to get ready for a very, very, very important series of the finals on the line. That's where you fell short last year because they were the one that went to a 7th game going into the Dallas series. Take a little bit of extra rest. Don't give the Warriors a breath of hope. Go out there and smoke them tonight, and there's a double advantage. The rest and no more Steph to worry about.
Yeah, no, for sure. That definitely feels like it's a Anthony Edwards, that dunk that he had against Kevon Looney, he's incredible. I mean, there's really no other way to put it. Anthony Edwards is incredible. We had a lot of conversation about who the face of the league is going to be moving forward. I think the answer, at least from the American answer, I think the answer is going to be Anthony Edwards. Like, he is amazing. Royals and Astros, that game comes up in just a little bit. We're going to hand things off to Vern. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Take care of yourself. It's The Drive here on 96.5 The Fan.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for K-State Athletics, 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today.